Good afternoon and welcome to our ongoing live play of Pandora's Wake Apocalypse Age. I'm your Games Master, I'm Brian F. Irving, and the system we'll be using today is Modern Age by our friends over at Green Ronin Publishing. Do check them out at greenronin.com. The setting is Pandora's Wake by Gethsemane Games. The sound effects that you'll be hearing during the course of the game are by DH9 Radio's Foley unit, BattleBards and freesound.org. Music is by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com and by DH9 Radio's production unit. Your cast and crew for today. Mark will be joining us later, so I will run down from the top. Chris Gibson as Adam Taylor.
Hello.
Jenny Savall as Erin Black.
Hello.
Ben Watson as Joe Watson.
Hi.
Sean McGuile as Thomas Gallagher.
Hello.
And Marie McGowan Irving as Elizabeth Lizzie Ryan.
Hello.
Okay, let us therefore begin. A year has passed since the Pandora event, the night that the skies turned purple and tore open to reveal what lay behind them. The Otherverse, a lethal hellscape populated by plant and animal species that knew no fear of humanity and which spilled into our universe. The first to cross were the deadly predatory fauna of the Otherverse, no more than animals but seemingly with an endless hunger for terrestrial life. At first humanity held its own. For all the savagery of the Otherverse, our technology and our weapons gave us an edge that the animals of the Otherverse just couldn't match. Then came the flora, no less deadly than the fauna it seemed, some toxic to terrestrial life, some carnivorous and predatory like the animals that came before. The alien plant life took root in our world and began to terraform it into a copy of its own. With it came diseases, wave after wave of deadly pathogen. Cracks began to show. Smaller, often rural areas began to fall to the Otherverse. Our food and supply chains began to buckle under the strain. Riots broke out in the cities as food and fuel shortages loomed. This is the world of Pandora's Wake. And we're just going to have a little bit of newscast here, so if the cast could just let this play out without talking over it, that would be grand. Assuming I can find the damn thing. There it is.
The giant creature lay waste to half the city, with casualties said to run into the thousands before the military were able to bring the monstrosity down. Military spokesperson Amara V described the creature as the largest living animal yet to have emerged from the Otherverse, and called it a significant threat which led to some particular challenges in regard to bringing the creature down in an urban area without causing further loss of human life. A correspondent for the BBC in the area, Sindhu Bhaskar, referred to the monster as a city killer. An emergency meeting for the UN Security Council has been called for tonight to discuss the developing threat posed by the Otherverse. Helicopter gunships of the Royal Air Force were today engaged in savage aerial battles with unidentified flying creatures over the North Sea. The monsters, thought to be bat-like in form but of immense size, are believed to have been involved in the recent attacks upon North Sea oil platforms. One helicopter suffered minor damage. RAF Command report 29 confirmed kills with 9 more suspected kills against the creatures. A full statement is expected from the Ministry of Defence later today.
The World Health Organization have announced that 3 more non-terrestrial pathogens have been isolated. The pathogens are each capable of causing fatal diseases in humans and closely related mammalian species.
Joint naval elements from Russia, Great Britain and Turkey have completed a 20,000-person evacuation of Odessa this afternoon. The evacuation began 3 days ago when Russian Black Sea Fleet vessels responded to distress calls from within the city. Odessa has been heavily hit since the Pandora event and was recently overrun by creatures from the Otherverse. British vessels responded yesterday in an attempt to support the Russian surface vessels despite official condemnation from Moscow claiming that the British were not required and were using the tragedy for anti-Russian propaganda. Turkish officials reported that they had also intercepted Russian transmissions from the fleet requesting aid, and they joined the Anglo-Russian relief effort with several destroyers. Official channels report that the final hours of the evacuation were completed during heavy close-quarters fighting between Anglo-Russian Turkish forces and swarms of creatures from the otherverse. Surviving eyewitnesses to the incident have claimed that the warships were also forced to provide sea-to-land bombardment in an attempt to relieve the three nations' marine forces.
Streams of refugees continue to cross the Texas border into Mexico this evening, as alien life forms emanating from the otherverse continue to sweep across the lower states. In an official statement, the Mexican authorities reported that they had established processing camps for the US refugees fleeing south. The United Nations have announced the formation of a new international military force named the United Nations Counter-Alien Incursion Force. Drawing on personnel from over 100 countries, the new Rapid Reaction Force is intended to be able to deploy anywhere in the world in order to engage otherverse incursions. In Great Britain, there seems to be no end in sight to food shortages as rationing has returned for the first time since the 1950s. Scuffles have been reported at several supermarkets, and food riots broke out in parts of London, Manchester and Newcastle this evening.
Previously, on Pandora's Wake, Apocalypse Age. Our heroes have been evacuated by the police from the television studio, where they were gathered to talk a little bit about their previous experiences with the creatures of the otherverse. During the live broadcast, the television studios were attacked by antiverses, people who believe the entire thing is a conspiracy and that there is no such thing as the otherverse, the alien creatures or the alien pathogens that are sweeping across the world. After some brief fighting with the antiverses, the party managed to subdue most of them. As the police arrived, they have now, excuse me, been placed temporarily in a state of, are they under arrest or are they just helping the police with their inquiries? It's difficult to say. However, they have all been evacuated to a medical facility on the outskirts of Gateshead. The medical facility set up in an old warehouse building, and next to it there is a new hospital which has been rapidly constructed. Those who are testing positive for alien pathogens have been transferred into that. The party are currently receiving their initial tests to see who among them has been infected by the deadly alien diseases. The police are currently outside. They've been removed by the medical teams whilst you are dealt with. So you are currently just in sort of the entire warehouse is divided up into segments with large see-through plastic curtains between each booth, and you can see medics are testing various people. Does anybody have anything they would like to ask the medics or do at this stage? Or
What's going on here?
Mr.
Taylor.
Gibson, Taylor, yes, sorry. Gibson, that's your real name, sorry. Taylor, yes. You're being tested as we believe one of the assailants that you were dealing with in the attack on the television studio was infected with some of the alien pathogens. So we're just testing everybody to see if anybody's...
I understand this protocol. I think I heard about this. I work at the bio lab in Newcastle.
Ah, right, okay. Well, you're the sort of person we could do with having here, I suppose, but not on this side of the needle. Jabs you in the arm, depresses the plunger.
No worries.
We're
let
just...
me know if you need help after you've sorted out my fellow comrades.
Okay, thank you. I'm afraid you're going to be in temporary isolation for a couple of days until the tests The blood tests are completed. Unfortunately, it's not the most comfortable. You'll just be there's some tents down the far end of the building with some cots in them.
There may be one or two of me friends who may not like needles, so yeah.
I'll
Take care.
don't worry. I'm sure we'll manage.
Oh, you'll know when you meet me.
At that point, she kind of finishes what she's doing and hands you over to one of the nurses to take you down to the cubicle you're going to be living in for the next 2 days, which is it's really just a small military tent with like a fold-out cot in it and some storage facilities like a clothing rail. Nothing particularly fancy. There's some medical, like hospital gowns and stuff hung up on the rail for you as well. You're told that you'll be held here for 2 days until the blood tests come back. Anybody else doing or saying anything before they get transferred down?
Not really, no.
No,
It's just go with the flow at this point.
Okay.
so
I'm going to ask them how that man that like had the illness, is that typical of how people get with the illness, or was he just like an outlying case? Was he just like somebody that got it really badly and no having any treatment or anything? That's why he had the outcome he had.
Well, we're not entirely sure what it is that happened. If you'd like to give us a little bit of a breakdown on the symptoms as they were manifesting at the time.
I wasn't in the room, but the others were saying he was like, he looked really poorly, and then he was like coughing up blood, and then he just collapsed. And they were,
She takes notes. Well, there are multiple different pathogens that we are that we are detecting from the other verse. The symptoms of some of those pathogens are very similar to what you've just described.
okay.
I'll not say that they're all that bad. Some are worse.
Oh, okay. It's just I've been exposed a few times to creatures for the other verse. So, what should I be looking out for these illnesses?
Okay, good question. So what you need to look out for primarily is flu-like symptoms, extreme headaches that will feel something like a migraine, only whereas migraines normally the pain is centered at a particular part of the head. It would extreme pain throughout the entire head. You need to look out for. Also, sudden changes in your ability to cope with stress and things that would normally anger you. You'll find you will become, if you are infected, you will become much less able to deal with feelings of anger, and things will anger you much more easily. That's the sort of things we would suggest you stay vigilant for. Also, bloodshot eyes and bleeding from various orifices that you wouldn't normally expect to bleed from.
Oh, okay. Okie dokie.
So there are orifices you expect to bleed from?
Sean, can I
yes.
just point out my character's female?
Yes. No, I was meaning, a bit of an odd thing for someone to say, but yeah, okay.
But they're saying it to women, so you know.
Saying it to they might not have phrased it that way to a man, but yeah. Okay, so she takes your blood tests and gives you an injection of something as well. You're not entirely sure what that was, because that was going in, not coming out.
I'll take
right.
Anybody else speaking or asking anything or doing anything before we move?
I would ask what they've just injected us with, or are injecting us with.
Okay, it's a broad spectrum vaccine that will deal with some of the pathogens that we're dealing with from the other verse. However, there are a number of alien pathogens, and we don't have vaccines for all of them as of yet. We do for one, so we've given you that one because the disease in question is fatal and quickly. So we would rather... we're not taking any chances with that one. We're just giving everybody the vaccine for that.
God. And we all know Rab's gone running off.
Yeah. do.
Maybe should we say something? I don't know. Because if they've got a vaccination for this, mind you,
Might
if he's
hold you
already
longer if we
infected,
don't say
then
anything.
But there's also that would he not have been videoed in the building at the time and been?
Oh, it was being broadcast at the time. The
So
show was
Yeah.
they
actually
would
live.
know. They would say, "Well, here's he gone," so they
Yeah.
already know he's missing.
okay.
And you probably well. I'm not going to say anything more then because we're not talking to each other, and they're probably listening.
You can actually talk to each other at this point because you're all in adjacent cubicles and they're just sort of clear
Okay.
plastic curtains. So you're a bit muffled, so you sound a little bit like this, but you can basically make out what people are saying.
And I take it they've confiscated all communication devices and other stuff.
Yeah, pretty much you are down to just your clothes, and they are suggesting you remove your clothes and wear the hospital gowns that have been provided for you, and put the clothes in the hazardous waste sacks that have also been provided for you. They've removed everything else, all your equipment, all your ID. They've given you receipts for it all.
Have I?
Oh
have-
no, that was my going on the telly outfit.
We have our
I
mobile.
thought that's special.
No.
You
So
haven't
I
done
would look
anything.
so I would look at a plan for national telly. And they've taken out. Well, I'm upset now. I'm going to be upset putting it in the bag.
Don't worry, they're probably not going to destroy the clothes unless you test positive, of course. But at the moment,
Well-
the clothes are going down to be tested themselves because some of the pathogens from the other verse can live on terrestrial material for
Being-
48 hours. So.
Probably in some horrible, ugly blue jeans and white t-shirt
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
with cheap clothes.
No, you're wearing a medical gown where
Yeah.
you can see your backside.
Well, it's not quite that bad. It's not quite the no back medical gowns, but it is kind of blue paper trousers, and like a white paper top.
Great.
Yeah,
Not,
Can
not even a
I-
it's
nice
not
orange
flattering.
jumpsuit.
Not even a nice orange jumpsuit. No. Can you watch, Jenny? Sorry.
I need to ask them to let my place of work know where I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you've anybody, I'll say this to all of you actually. If you've anybody you'd like us to inform, just give us the details and we'll make sure that we work through that. We do have administrative staff that are working through those contacts. It
I'll
might
also
take them
give the
24 hours.
details.
But
Sorry, I'll also give them the details of my dad and brother, presuming they've probably got mobile phones.
yeah, you've already given them them details on your admission forms because they would
So
be
it'd be
your
next of kin
kin.
style sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would have given me a girlfriend and probably asked them to contact my work lab.
Right. Yes, they will do.
I'll give them the number for my boss.
Right.
So you need to tell him that I'm here.
Okay. You notice
And
that. Sorry.
I already know.
You are. I was going to say you are your boss. It took me a second.
Yeah.
It took me a second, but yes, you are your boss. You notice that unlike your cubicles have just got like medical staff coming and going. You notice some of the cubicles actually have armed guards on them that look military.
Great.
Give me a first roll of the evening. Give me a perception seeing test.
All of us.
Yep, all of you. Anybody who scores more than 11 will have passed.
I have the potential to do so, but
At some point.
I'm sorry, Brian. I was, as you know, I'm actually
Yeah, no, that's fine.
multitasking at the moment. So what is it? I'm rolling.
Perception test.
Okay.
For those who don't know, Marie's one of the duty admins on one of the online markets tonight. She doesn't normally do it while we're on air, but sometimes there's no option. You go, okay, so everybody has noticed the cubicles that are armed, that have armed guards, the cubicles aren't armed. It's not like a tent with a gun, we're not saying that.
I haven't, Brian. I've just rolled everything.
You haven't noticed that.
it's because they stole your outfit. That's why.
I'm still upset that they took my good outfit.
Yes. But the rest of you have noticed that the tents that have armed guards on are the antiverses, the people that attacked the TV station in the first place.
Right.
So there's like
Yeah.
they look like military guards rather than armed police, but you do see some armed police around the compound as well. But there's definitely a military presence here, complete with some MRAPs outside the door. Does everybody know what I mean by an MRAP?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Mine resistant armor protected. It's a large transport. But if you've ever seen Fear the Walking Dead, they use an MRAP in that, a cougar, I believe, which
Yeah.
is not the model that they've got outside, but it's something very much like that. They're designed so that if a mine or an IED goes off nearby, the crew inside will survive.
Mhm.
Okay.
So these are big armored vehicles. You probably hold a squad of about 6 men plus crew in them. They have 50 calibers mounted on the top. These are not things you fuck about with.
Yeah, they don't want the antiverses getting out, do they? Jesus.
It would seem not. No. You
No.
also notice that they have confiscated a wide selection of weapons from the antiverses. Okay, so you're all taken down to your tents, which are close enough that you can communicate with each other through the tents. Although you're in kind of... once the zips are down, there's actually zip ties put on them so that you can't get out. There's a toilet and whatnot inside there. So some of you can't hear others because you're in a long line. So you would have to pass the information down, like sort of narrative telephone type of thing.
Yeah. Game of telegraph.
Yeah, exactly. But you can hear a lot of comings and goings from around you and whatnot. You're in for a couple of hours, just kind of trying to get settled. You've had a visitor from the medical staff that have collected your outfits and taken them away, and seen if you need any food or water and whatnot, anything to drink. If you need your potties changing yet or whatnot. When about sort of 3 hours-ish after that, you hear a lot of excitement from outside, a lot of yelling and sort of excited shouting, raised voices, that type of thing.
Is it alarmed shouting? Is
Yes.
it
Yes, it does appear to be.
Hmm.
Okay.
how this tent itself?
Yes.
Yeah, it's inside a warehouse. How's it secured to the ground?
It is actually secured to the bottom sheet, so it's like one of these one-piece tents that are the bottom's kind of part of the whole structure.
Yeah, so it's got that inner tent piece sort of across the bottom.
Yeah.
It's all one all in one.
That's right.
And I take it it's a military tent, so it's going to be double stitched, quite tough.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Fabric, canvas, or whatever. Well, probably not canvas, be some sort of water repellent material on the outside.
That's right.
Or smeared with a water repellent chemical.
It'll have to be a way for fresh air or air to get in somewhere.
Oh, they're not airtight.
They'll be porous.
Yeah.
They'll be porous.
You have 10 minutes to recover, or else you run out of air.
Which
You
reminds
get
us.
air bleed through the zip anyway.
Yeah. Which
But,
reminds us, recovery. Anybody who has lost any health points,
Okay.
you will have had medical attention on the way in, so you will restore a total of, let's see, I've got this noted down somewhere, 10 health each.
Nice. Back up to full.
I'm on full. It's okay.
So some of you have got like bandages on or dressings over bruises or whatnot. You might have a bruise coming up somewhere, but there's no serious physical injury to any of you at the moment. Outside, the alarmed shouting gets a bit louder and you hear footsteps running very close to your tents, and then you hear thunk, poof, got him.
Sleepy.
Sounds like somebody was trying to either break in or break out.
Yeah,
Try to escape.
that
Yeah.
seems to be it. Yeah.
Can we shout to ask what's going on?
Yeah, somebody yells back, no, nothing to worry about. It's just one of the people that attacked the television studio who's trying to make a break for it.
Oh, okay.
But we've got him.
Nice.
At which point your tent doors start to open as someone comes in to speak to each of you in turn.
Okay.
The person in question's in kind of a hazmat suit. They come in, they take a look at you, and starting at the top, they'll say, Mr. Gibson.
Taylor.
Sorry, Chris, I keep doing it because I'm reading the wrong bloody line. Mr. Taylor.
Don't know who this Mr. Gibson is. I mean,
He's 3/10
like,
down.
fine.
Yeah. Mr. Taylor, yes, the police would like to speak to you, so we'll be bringing them in a moment's time. Just thought I'd let you know. Is there anything we can get you before you speak to them?
Could I get some fresh water, please?
Fresh water, certainly, yeah. And off the scurry to go get them. You each get the same visit. Somebody comes in, tells you the police want to speak to you.
Can I do a perception to see when we know that we're not getting listened to?
Yeah, you can make a perception if you want to.
Got an 11.
Okay, as far as you can tell, it doesn't look like there's any bugs. The problem is this is not terribly.
I was on about when the people who are come to ask us a question have gone away. I mean,
right. Okay. Well, the police themselves haven't been yet, but doesn't look like you're certainly not being bugged or anything. But people can hear you through the tents, even though it's a little bit muffled.
So don't be like, I hope they don't catch us for that murder.
it's just the ones next to us, so we can get our story straight. That's all.
Okay. Well, unfortunately for you, the police are already starting to arrive and break you up.
No worries, I'll just talk loudly then.
Okay, fair enough.
So loud that they can hear us in the tent. Yeah.
The three people in hazmat suits enter the. We're probably going to do this in alphabetical order, so we'll start with Erin.
Wait a minute. So
Oh.
there's three of them walk in, and the first one says hello, the second one says hello, and the third one says hello.
That's right. Hello, hello, hello. And then you
Oh
hear
my
somebody
God.
go, "What's all this then?"
That's all.
The first one seems to be the first one seems vaguely familiar. You can only see parts of the face through the hazmat suit, but you think it's one of the medics. She said, Miss Black, I'm afraid the police need to speak to you, so we're just going to have to move you to another tent temporarily while they speak to you. If you'd just like to follow us, please.
Okay.
Miss Black, do you know Jack?
The other two people introduce themselves on the walk over as D-High Stanhope and D.S. Lockhart.
Okay.
And they take you to another tent and sit you down. So D-High Stanhope starts. You can hear it's an older woman from the tone of the voice, you think. There's nothing to worry about. We're just going to record the interview. You're not actually under arrest, though. You're just, at this point, we consider you a witness. But things can change. So we are going to record everything that's discussed between us. Is there anything you would like to say off the record before we start? Before we record, I should add.
No, nothing that I can think of.
Okay, well, I'm DCI Stanhope. This is DS Lockhart. He'll be the one beating the confession out. Sorry, that's for later. That's for later on. That's for somebody else. Do ignore me.
Wait a minute.
Okay, in the setup like a portable recorder, and you hear us say, interview with Erin Black, DCI Stanhope and DS Lockhart in attendance, and then they give the time and the date and they hit record. Says, so, Miss Black, or Erin, can I call you Erin?
Yeah, that's
Nah.
fine.
Okay, well, you can call me Vera.
Yes, I can spot all the other people who watch the same programs I do.
The crossover everybody wants to see.
No, the crossover they all want to see is Peaky Blinders and that.
Oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
have to run that at some point, aren't I?
Yeah.
Pandora's Blindness or Peaky Wake, which should I call it? Anyway, sorry. I'm going to think that one through for a while.
Is that going to be like a cyberpunk style
Yeah.
Victorian steampunk type thing?
Steampunk, yeah. Okay, so she says, so Erin, this has been quite a day for you, hasn't it?
Yes, it most definitely has.
Well, you'll be getting some rest now, pal. Shortly after we've had a discussion, it'll before you know it, it'll be you'll be bored to tears. Still, it's better than people running around trying to shoot you, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
we're just going to ask you a few questions about the incident. Now, you'll probably speak to the medics as well about the incident because they have some specific questions dealing with, we believe, or they believe, one of the assailants might have been infected. But we're going to be dealing with the more legal side of things. So, first of all, could you, in your own words, could you just take me through what happened?
God. Right, well, this is where my memory from how many weeks has it been since we've played the game?
2 weeks.
Eyewitnesses are the worst kind of witnesses,
They really
remember?
are,
So,
Oh, God. Right.
So it doesn't matter.
I'll start off saying, we went in, we were doing the interview on television, and then we started hearing all this noise going on outside. We noticed that the presenters seemed to be looking a bit nervous after somebody came in to talk to them. And then I believe it was one of the camera operators went.
Could you just tell me who it was that came in to speak to them?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think it might have been maybe one of the producers. I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know who they were. And then we all noticed there was a bit of a change in atmosphere. We could tell, we've been through a few things as a group. And so, our senses are kind of heightened to this sort of thing. And when we all noticed one of the camera people left, we decided that obviously something seemed to be amiss. We kept hearing a lot of noise and shouting and such like. So we knew there must have been something wrong. So we all got up, told the presenters that they should leave because we figured there'd be danger. And we went out to go and investigate. We ended up splitting up a little bit. Can't remember why or how, but some of us stayed in the main studio whilst I think they were trying to help the presenters stay safe. I'm not entirely sure. Whereas myself and a few others, I think, was it one or a couple of others? Yeah. Went and followed after where we saw the cameraman go.
I see. Could you just tell me which others that was?
Oh God, who was it? One of them was one was Joe Watson, wasn't it?
Yes.
God, who was the other? Oh,
You've got
Rab.
list of suspects.
Yeah. There was Rab, Joe Watson, and I think that was it.
Okay. And could you just tell me a little bit about your thought processes when the three of you left the relative safety of the studio to go after?
Well, we didn't really think it was that safe in there. We thought if we exited, we'd be able to see more of what was going on, maybe help somebody. Because we didn't know whether it was people, if it was creatures
I see.
from the other verse, and we've had experience with dealing with these creatures, so maybe we could have helped. So that's why we went out mainly.
So you've mentioned a couple of times now that you and your friends have, or you and this group of people have some experience with these creatures, and obviously we know a little bit from the records and from the television show itself. I was watching it myself; it was quite interesting. But the impression I'm getting is that there's a little bit more than we're hearing about at the moment. Have there been other incidences that you've?
Oil rig.
I think they already know about the oil rig. I think.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, because it was mentioned on the interview.
But you could tell the story.
Yeah. I'll go over my encounters with the bat creatures at the oil rig. I'll say we have run into the squid type creatures, as you know. We ran into them a few times, and there was some other creatures. There was something that was kind of a bit like a dinosaur that we all saw at one point.
And when was that? Could you tell me when you saw the?
God, how long ago would it have been? Do I know roughly?
That was at the very start.
Yeah, that was on the night of the.
Yeah,
Pandora event.
I'll say it was around and about the same day when everything really kicked off.
Did you actually see it though, or was that told to you?
Which, interestingly enough, is the DI's next question.
I can't actually remember. Did I see it? I think was I in a car?
I can't remember if you were in the car or not.
No,
I
think
you weren't.
Me,
You weren't in the car. It wasn't you.
Me and
Lost.
It was me and
Adam.
Rab.
Yeah,
It was
me and
Rab
Adam
who
had
saw the
already
Molotov
gone to
explosion.
another house, and we'd seen. I'll tell them about that as well. I'll say, well, actually, on that night, I didn't see this other creature, but me and my friend Adam had gone to go and get his girlfriend, and we encountered more of those squid creatures who hurt somebody. But when we got back, some of our other friends that told us about this sort of dinosaur-like kind of creature that they saw in the streets.
I see, yes. So you would describe Adam as a friend then?
Well, yeah, at this point, yes.
I
I think we've all become
Do
relatively friendly.
of course, over the time. So do you keep in contact with one another? Do you see each other regularly?
Yeah, I would say fairly regularly.
I see. We'll have regular contact, yeah. And you, when you say all, was there anybody in the studio that you don't keep regular contact with, other than the television presenters and the studio staff?
Train driver.
Yeah, there was the gentleman there that we rescued at the beginning of the event. We hadn't spoken to him again since we rescued him, and then again at the studio, and that was it. We hadn't been in contact with him.
Because the police will.
And yeah, I'm gonna say that. And I'll say also, Rab. We'd actually, even though we have spent some time with him, he's a little bit. He tends to keep to himself. We don't even know what his last name is.
Right, I see.
He's a bit of a loner.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to want to get too friendly with us, but if we see him, we'll talk to him, obviously. But
And do you see him often?
not really, no.
Okay, I see. Has he happened to mention anybody else he knows in the area?
No, not really. I know he's come down visiting from Scotland, but that's about it.
Right, I see. Sorry, I seem to have just lost my. Yeah, we seem to have lost visuals for a moment. So just give me a second to bring those back up, and I'll see what I can do. I don't know what happened there, but it seems to have closed my window. So roll 29. So I'll bring this back up as quickly as I can, so it doesn't interfere too much.
Okay.
Although it's still not. Okay, it's back up, but it hasn't. Ah, there we are, and we are back on. So people
Well,
don't
that
can
was
see the visuals again. Sorry. So yes, the last thing
Mhm.
you said was you hadn't really kept in touch with the train driver either. Well, wasn't the last
No.
thing you said, but it was something I wanted to address. Is there a particular reason you haven't kept in touch with the train driver?
Well, we didn't know him for one.
So you knew one
and
another.
no, we didn't know the train driver, and we didn't have his name. I don't think. Well, at least I didn't have his name. All we know is that he was taken by ambulance, so we didn't have any means of contacting him.
I see. And so you didn't know the train driver, and you didn't have any means of contacting him, but you've managed to stay in touch with the other people in the group.
Hmm.
So could you tell me how it's come to pass that you do have means of contacting them? You've obviously made an effort to stay in touch with the
Well,
rest of the group.
because we stuck together much longer. We only were with the train driver for long enough to get him out of there and get him in an ambulance.
I see.
All the rest of us stuck together much longer after that. We decided at the time, even though we didn't know each other to begin with, that it was probably best to stick together in a group.
I see.
And so just through that, I guess we sort of created a bit of a bond. We helped each other out. We helped go and find members of each other's family to make sure they were safe. And I guess
Very
that's
public
just why.
spirited of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Returning to the night of the incident a little bit, you said you'd gone to look to see if there was anybody you could help, but things didn't really turn out that way, did they? There seems to have been some kind of scuffle with the assailants. Yeah.
Hmm.
Could
Well,
you
pretty
just
much.
put some of that in context for me? Could you just explain exactly what happened there? There are some questions we have about that, some things that don't entirely make sense.
Right, okay. Well, it was a bit of a confusing night. There was a lot going on all at once, but pretty much as soon as we left the studio itself, we encountered a group of these men, and they came at us all threatening, try to attack us. One of them hit me. One of them tried to
That is a
hit
lovely
Joe.
bruise you've got there, yes.
Yeah, and so
Did that happen
obviously,
during this scuffle, did it?
yeah.
That's it.
And so things went from there. We just basically, they tried to attack us. They tried to drag us into a room. We didn't know what they were going to try and do. And so we just did what we could to defend ourselves,
And you were
really.
women and they were men and they were like manhandling you and
You see,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the things that we find quite interesting is one of the things you did to defend yourselves, and don't get me wrong, you are obviously entitled to use reasonable force to defend yourself. So I'm just a little bit curious where the
web.
where the arrow comes into it.
Well, you see, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you,
You're not
because
really
these
sure where the arrow
people
comes
had
in.
no, because these people did have some kind of weapons. I know one of them definitely had a gun. And of course, we
Seem to have been
wouldn't.
armed as well. That's a bit we're curious about.
There were. Um, they did have other types of weapons. I believe one of them had some kind of a bow or something like that.
That seems to be the case, yes.
So they seem to have a mix of different types of weapons. I'm not entirely sure why or how, but this is why we ended up getting a bit hurt.
No, I can understand that. Yes, we're more interested. I mean, obviously, we're pursuing some questions about the armaments they arrived with as well, but we're a little bit curious as exactly how one of them managed to be the subject of a Shoot him
Well,
with a bow.
from what I can remember, and my memory's a bit foggy with this because I
Is
was
it?
kind of hit round the head a little bit.
Mm.
I believe one of them tried to fire at one of us, but
Mhm.
accidentally hit the friend.
I see.
They weren't
All
exactly
right.
the smartest or best organised.
So your contention is that the injured assailant was shot by one of his own.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the
So
best thing
if we check
that
the CCTV cameras that were operating in the building at the time, that would confirm that, would it?
I would think so. Yeah.
Would you? I see.
Concussion, the concussion defense. That's what you're going for.
Yeah, I mean,
My brain's a bit foggy. I don't know what happened.
I did get hit round the head quite hard, so
Did
it's
you,
difficult
yes?
for me to remember. You might get more details out of someone else, but
Of
that's
course. We'll be
more or
speaking
less
to
what I
them
can
in a moment. Yeah. Okay.
Throw someone else under the bus.
Yeah.
You know that guy Rab. He had a bow and arrow and he shot that bloke.
Well, thank you very much. You've been most helpful. We're just going to have you removed for a while whilst we speak to the others. You won't be going straight back to your tent, as we are well aware that you can communicate with the others through them, and we wouldn't want any pollution of the evidence. Sometimes people talk, and memory is a funny thing. It can be twisted slightly by.
That's very true. Yeah.
So we're just going to put you in that tent over there, away from everybody else. We may have some more questions for you later, but thank you very
feel
much.
free. Yeah, you're
For the
welcome.
moment, I think we've about done. Could you show Mr. Gallagher in, please? And with that, Thomas is shown into the room. Mr. Gallagher, do take a seat. We'll be recording our conversation just for training purposes and monitoring purposes. I think that's how they phrase it these days, don't you? Don't worry, there won't be any annoying little tunes, though.
Right. None of this. You're on hold, and our call is important to us.
Of course.
Your call is important to us.
We just have one or two questions about the order of events of this evening. There seems to be some question about the exact order of events. Now, I'm not sure if you can help us with all of them. Could you tell us where you were during the course of the last hour in the TV studio, please?
In the studio, in the recording studio. I was in the recording studio throughout the whole incident.
So in the soundstage itself?
Yeah, as per the actual recording that was broadcast live.
I see, yes. Okay, so there's no question that you've got an alibi for... alibi, what a strange term for me to have used. It's not like anybody...
As to what else happened in the building, I have no idea. All we knew was that some man came in, spoke to the presenters and the TV crew that were in the studio. They had been looking a bit worried about something. There was noise outside, vehicles moving. We went over to look out of the window, and somebody backed a van up against the fire exit, so we couldn't leave out through any of the doors to the studio. The cameraman left through the double doors to the it's the southeastern part of the studio. Some of the other members of the interview panel followed. I think there were 3 of them. Went out that way. Myself, Adam Taylor, and Lizzie Ryan remained in with the presenters. Okay. And Reg, the train driver, is that his name?
Reg, yep.
Yeah, the train driver. Basically, we attempted to barricade the windows in case somebody was trying to come in through them, and built a sofa fort, I suppose, if for want of a better word, to put the presenters inside. We were worried that we were being attacked by creatures from the otherverse at this point.
Yes.
Hence why we then broke up some table legs for makeshift clubs to basically defend ourselves if we were going to be in a situation where we were going to be assaulted. And then for want of a better word, I don't know what you call them. Anti-verses, is that the right term for it? You complete
It's
set of
certainly a
idiots.
term we're hearing used a lot at the moment, so we'll...
Yeah. So these idiots came in, started swinging hammers. One of them had a shotgun. And
Yes.
basically, all I can say is Adam there's a bit of a martial artist type. I've been working out. It was really no sort of competition
Right.
at that point.
Well, we do notice that
Lizzie's an athlete.
Lizzie's an athlete. we do notice that on the whole they were overpowered without any serious threat to their life or limb, and despite their best efforts, they didn't appear to present a serious
Well, one of
threat
them
to
had a
your life or
shotgun.
limb either. Yes, one of them had a shotgun. We noticed
He was waving around.
you were able to overpower them despite the shotgun. Quite impressive, to be entirely honest. And we wouldn't recommend it on the whole. We wouldn't recommend attacking somebody or attempting to overpower somebody who's armed with a shotgun. But on this occasion, you seem to have gotten away with it. There was one question we would really like cleared up though. During the course of the, shall we call it a fracas? During the course of the fracas, there were a number of potentially quite dangerous structural failures in the in the studio, in the sound stage, weren't there? Could you tell me a little bit more about those, please?
Oh,
You
God.
mean the have you had the building inspector in there? I don't know if it's safe or not. You don't have regulations.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having somebody check that. Yes.
Yeah. So what exactly are you talking about?
Well, there just appears to have been a number of studio lights that seem to have fallen on the assailant during the course of the incident. It's unusual for more than... Well, it's unusual for them to fail at all, but we believe 3 in total may have failed. Could you tell
Angry
me a little
ghost.
bit more about that?
You mean what's it? They were struck from above by an act of God. Is that what you're saying?
An
No?
act of God. I see.
No, I think it was more the case of one of the concerns we had was if that door had come in and it had been creatures from the other verse.
I see.
Us being relatively unarmed, and you know how, I don't know if you know how bad these creatures are.
Yes.
They're fairly ferocious. As a defense, Lizzie actually scaled into the rafters there, got herself up there, and dropped the lights upon them.
Right, I see. At this
That's
point,
what actually happened.
At this point, was she able to see that these weren't creatures from the other verse?
Well, people with weapons and threatening us,
Throwing Lizzie under the
and
bus.
having attacked us initially,
Snatchies get stitches, by the way.
you really don't want us to defend ourselves against people. We had no idea if help was ever
We're
coming.
just taking notes at the moment. We're just piecing together some indication of the series of events and exactly who did what and why and how often.
So I'll make no bones about it. These idiots came in, threatened everybody, and so we took them down in the studio. And I've got no regrets about doing that. I would do the same if I see somebody being attacked in the street. I'm going to help them out.
I see. Now, there is something else you might be able to help me with. You won't have been present for the actual use, but could you just tell me, in your opinion, how somebody may have come to have been shot with a ball during the course of the incident?
You want my opinion on how something happened out of my sight, like some idiot got hit by an arrow?
More curious as to if you have any indication of how the ball arrived in the building in the first place, really.
Well, I don't know which bow he was shot with, so how can I tell you how that bow arrived in the building?
There was more than one bow in the building at the time of the incident.
But how would I know that? I had never seen the bow. I hadn't seen who shot the guy. I hadn't even seen the arrows. So
I don't know how
would I know?
But you seem to mention that you seem to imply that there was more than one bow in the building. You said you didn't know which one had been used.
No, can you actually play that back?
Yes, I can. She does. And you did say, how do you know which? How could I know which bow was used? And that seems to have been what just sort of fastened on.
So I'm assuming that these guys were armed with hammers, bows, shotguns, and I don't know whether they had more than one shotgun.
So it's your
One of them
opinion
had
it
a
was one
sledgehammer.
of their own bows. I see.
No,
No,
that's hearsay, basically.
we're not quite in a
You're actually
court of
putting
law
words in.
yet.
You're putting words into my mouth here,
So
right?
you don't think it was one of their bows? You think somebody else might have been using it?
I'm saying the reason the guy was shot
Instinct.
with an arrow is because somebody shot him. I don't know who, and I don't know where that bow that shot him came from.
Could have shot himself.
It would be very
Right.
Trying to
tricky.
put us in the dark.
However,
Mhm.
it wouldn't surprise me, given the level of education of these people, if it wasn't self-inflicted.
Tricky to self-inflict a wound of that magnitude with a bow, I should imagine, but we will have some experts look into that. Well, thank you very much for your input so far. I think that's about everything. So thank you very much. You can. Oh, actually, one more thing. She says, doing a Columbo. Have you had a great deal of contact with Rab?
Rab, that Scottish scroat.
That's the one.
Not really. I mean, he used to hang around down at the garage.
Did he indeed? I see.
But I'm not really that interested in what he does. I mean, he's looks to me like he's a bit of a I don't know, person of the street, as it were. You know, he's got it. I don't know.
Person of the street.
We were told that the group had, with the exception of Reg, had largely stayed in touch with one another. Could you just confirm or
Well,
deny that?
yeah. I mean, Lizzie and her sister live they're just down the road from where my garage is, and I fix cars for a living. And various people. The whole point in the original thing was, at the time we were out in Newcastle coming home on a train. The majority of people that within the group there having had been out, and I'm actually the majority of them their car mechanic.
I see. So you would say
So
you're the common link, would you?
well, I would say you probably have a connection to them in that sort of way
I see.
for that thing for the majority of them, because
Very interesting.
I do good work on cars.
I see. And where did you say your garage was? I often need work doing on my car.
Over by Manners.
Oh, Manners.
Okay. Yeah. There was an incident over there on the particular night of the Pandora event where there was a running battle with creatures.
Ah, I see. Well, we should have a record of that. She looks at Kenny, who nods, and says, "I'll check that."
We were just trying to survive, and it's been I don't know what it is, but when you survive an event with people, it tends to cause you to form bonds.
I can imagine it must. Could you tell me a little bit about the oil rig?
What oil rig?
We were just told there was an encounter on an oil rig. Were you not part of that? Were you not there?
I'm a car mechanic.
Okay, so
why would I be on an oil rig?
You weren't at the oil rig. We're just checking details. We're not entirely sure exactly about everything that's gone on. Well, thank you very much. I think you've told us.
Oh, I was going to say, Erin Black, she's a SE rescue helicopter pilot, and she did mention there was an incident where she had to rescue somebody from an oil rig.
I see, but you weren't among the people that was present. That does make a lot more sense. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. You can return to the one of the holding cells temporarily. We'll be returning you to your.
Do you know how long it's going to be before we can actually get back to, for want of a better word, civilization?
Well, what I understand from the medics is it'll take about 2 days to get the blood tests back. Once they're back, they'll be able to give you the all clear or the not so all clear. If you're all clear, you'll be released immediately at that point. If not, then I'm afraid it's entirely in the hands of the medical staff, and I wouldn't be able to give you any more information than that. But hopefully it'll come back clear, and we're talking probably about 48 hours or so.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for yours. And you're escorted off out. Now, who's next? Let me see.
Elizabeth.
T. Elizabeth?
R.
T.
Your RST. Yeah, sorry. Yes, it is. It's Lizzie Ryan next, isn't it? Okay, so Elizabeth is brought in to see them next. Do take a seat, Miss Ryan, I believe.
Aye.
It says Elizabeth Ryan here. Is that correct?
Everybody calls me Lizzie.
Would you prefer to be called Lizzie?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
I only get called Elizabeth when I'm in trouble. I'm not in trouble, am I?
That remains to be seen. We just have a few questions that needs to be answered. One or two things that have been going on that we just need to... from the accent, you're from Glasgow, yes?
Aye.
Which part of Glasgow?
The rough bit.
The rough bit? Okay, narrow it down a bit.
The Gorbles. I'm for the Gorbles.
You're from the Gorbals, I see. And is Rab from the Gorbals?
Rab's a total schemey and a wee Ned. He's for like Drumchapel or Castlemount or Easterhouse.
Everyone's just throwing Paul Rab under the bus.
Yeah. Well, he's the one who fucked off. So fucking...
In
Fuck,
many
isn't
ways.
he?
Oh, sorry. Just to clarify, scheming means he lives on a housing scheme. One of them places they dumped all the poor people when they cleared all the slum housing.
Yes, I'm aware what schemey would mean in your local vernacular. We have similar terms. I see. So that's all very interesting, but it doesn't really answer the question behind my question, which was, how well do you know Rab?
No, very. I play chase tag professionally,
Right.
and he's a fan of the team.
I see.
So he comes to some of the matches, and when he saw me on the underground the night of the Pandora event, he got a bit excited because, you know, the way that guys that follow the football get excited when they see a player.
I see, right, yes, okay. So you would say that you don't really know Rab beyond that, or you didn't really know Rab beyond the fact that he's a fan of your team.
Pretty much.
What about since
I mean,
the
Glasgow's a big city with a lot of people. We don't all know one another.
I have heard that rumour, yes. You do, however, seem to have both found yourself in Newcastle in very close proximity to one another, and from something that some of the others have been telling us, you have all stayed in touch with one another quite a bit of late.
Well, aye.
You suddenly seem to have a lot of hissing in the... Oh, it stopped. Okay, never mind.
Hearing things.
That was the tape recorder going in the interview room.
Well, that must have been it, yeah. Okay, so, yes, tell us a little bit more about how you've all stayed in touch since the event.
Well, I share a flat with my sister. We're just up the road for Thomas's garage. My sister's at university, so she kind of knows... What the name of Chris's character?
Adam.
So she kind of knows Adam because, you know, they see one another. It's their own different courses, but they're in the same kind of buildings.
I see, right. Yes, I see.
Erin's she's a pilot. We went out urban exploring together.
Okay.
When when that way we are stuck in one place waiting for the police to come and everything was horrible. We discovered we both liked to do our bets, and I wanted to go and see some of the abandoned nuclear bunkers, and Erin came with me because you shouldn't really go and do that stuff on your own. So, and then my sister decided to come at the last minute, so I didn't need to drag Erin out. But we went and had a look at some of the old nuclear bunkers. together.
So, was there a one in particular that interested you?
No, just all of them. We had a look at a good few of them. There's a great big one that's like an actual. Most of them are just one tiny wee daft room.
Mhm.
There's a great big one that was like a whole complex. So we went and had a look at that, and there was a ghost hunting team already in it. We got permission. We did ask the farmer if it was all right.
Oh, I see. And whereabouts would this one be?
Up Northumberland somewhere. I want to say Morpeth,
Oh, I see.
Hamilton, somewhere like that.
Okay.
Somewhere up that road. Aye.
Morpeth.
So countryside, you know what I mean? I grew up in a council flat. What do I know about countryside?
Well, I suppose yes, in the big cities, it's sometimes difficult to to get to know much about the countryside, isn't it? So, that's interesting.
And thingy, the one that thinks he's good looking, he's eye texting, but he's no my type. Know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Would
His
you say?
parents are lawyers. I mean, for God's sake, wait, no.
So would you say he's one of
no.
those sleazy types?
I wouldn't say sleazy. I'd say, or even creepy. I'd just say, aye. I don't even
bit
know
full
the
of
word.
himself.
Aye, that's the word.
Rightfully so, I'm beautiful.
He's a little bit full of himself. Okay.
No bites on his mirrors type guy.
Never met a mirror he didn't like.
Yes. Now, was he one
Say
of the,
like or lick.
was he one of the
Well.
people that came with you when you left the sound studio to go after the intruders during the?
I never left the sound studio.
Did you not? Right. Okay. So whereabouts were you? Because you weren't actually on the camera. I was watching the broadcast, and we kind of lost track of you a little bit.
What happened was, like, we heard all that commotion, and then I tell Phil and Molly, I mean, they're national treasures. Can you imagine if them things for the universe got them on live telly? Oh no, I wouldn't having that happen. So I tell them, and Reg, because Reg, well, he went through enough, like, when that thing came through the train one day, didn't he? And one of the producers, because he looked like a wee skinny lad, I made them all get under a pile of couches that we put up so that they were kind of hidden.
I see. That was your idea, was it?
I think it was my idea. And then I climbed up into the rigging.
Okay. I see. Now, while you were up in the rigging, did you happen to notice any structural problems up there?
There was no structural problems. I loosened some of the lights because I thought if any of them creatures come in, I can drop a light on them. It's no much, but at least it might slow them down or something. I was, and so I was up there and among sort of all the lights.
So,
and by the way, nobody went after them. They went out to see what was going on, to see if there was any creatures out there. They didn't go out after anybody. At that point, we thought it was monsters. We didn't think it was like men.
I see. You thought it was monsters at that point. She says, maybe.
Aye.
Okay. Now, when did it become apparent that it was just people?
When the doors came in, I dropped a light, and I know I dropped a light on somebody when the doors came in, but at that point there was so much commotion going on, and it's pretty dark up in that rigging, and it's difficult to see. But when something came through the doors, I thought it had got past Erin and everybody, and so I dropped a light, thinking that maybe my friends, like my friend Erin, and that maybe that they got her, and that. And I was angry, and I was like, well, I'm not letting that monster get away with it, so I dropped a light. And then it became clear it was a guy, but it was guys. One of them definitely had a gun, because I could hear shouting. And I can't mind if it was Adam or Thomas, or both of them were shouting that there was a gun, and the guy was shouting stuff at them about doing what to help them. So I didn't know how many of them had guns or what weapons they had or whatever. So whenever I saw somebody underneath sort of the rigging, it wasn't immediately clear that it was Thomas and Adam, because Thomas and Adam were like bareheaded because we were on the telly, and most of them guys were wearing hats. So when I saw something with a hat go underneath, I dropped a light on them
I see. Right.
because I thought they had guns, and I thought they'd come to kill Phil and Molly, and I'm no fucking having that. I watch them every day. Every day, you know, they're brilliant. They went to some award ceremony and they came to work hungover. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, we've all had that day where you've had to go into work with your pure hanging, you know, and they went in and they done the telly like that. They're brilliant. I love them. I'm not having some guy threatening them with a shotgun. No way.
I see. Okay, that's quite interesting. I think we're about done here then, unless you can answer one question for me. Are you aware of any weapons that were brought into the studio by your group?
See, I could believe that maybe like Rab. What can you say about Rab, right? He's a wee Ned, right? So if he came in pulled up, that wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. You know what I mean? But I don't think. I mean, I
No
might have had.
loyalty in groups
I mean,
anymore, is there?
I've been doing some because obviously we keep them creatures. Jesus Christ, they're terrifying. As well as like my parkour and my chase tag,
Mhm.
I've been doing some mixed martial arts, so I might have had some staves in my bag. But I mean, I had them in my bag, and they were in a locker. You know, I was going to go to the gym after this. I don't know
I
about
see.
any other weapons.
So that's the only weapons you're aware of, then,
Aye.
apart from the ones that the assailants brought in with them when they attacked
Aye.
the building. I see.
I mean, I mean, I know that's pure terrible, but I wouldn't have thought that he would have brought like something into. He pure loves that Molly, by the way. You should have heard them chatting her up. It was embarrassing. I don't think he'd have brought a knife in if he thought he'd any chance at all with her. You know what I mean? Because it would make him look bad. Nobody wants to go anywhere with a guy that's tooled up. You think, what's he going to do? What's he going for? That's a bit creepy, you know. So
Mhm.
no, I don't think any of them would have brought any weapons in. Maybe
Okay.
I mean them guys had all sorts. I mean, where'd you get? I know that things are like beginning to like things are new normal, but how's he got a shotgun? We've got gun laws in this country.
Well, it would appear that he's licensed for the shotgun.
All right. I thought. Well,
He's not licensed to carry it into the into a television studio, however, so his license might not be in force much longer. Let's put it that way. But that's another
Keeps his
story.
license after this.
might not be. Oh well, aye, that would be about right, wouldn't it? Aye, we try to protect some national treasures, and I'm sitting here talking to you lot with a tape recorder going. He wanders in with a shotgun, and it's like, oh, we might take his license away. What? What's wrong with you?
Well, it's not my area, licensing of shotguns, but I would be very surprised if he gets to keep it. Anyway, thank you very much for what we will refer to as your help. One of the staff are just going to take you to a holding area just temporarily, just while we get the others spoken to, and then you'll be taken back to the tent that they've given you to stay in for the next couple of days. Is there anything we can get you in the meantime?
Well, unless there's some kind of gym facility, I don't know. I mean, I'm supposed to train. I'm an athlete. You're
Kenny,
sticking
could
me
you
in a
check
tent.
into the possibility of a gym facility? See what we've got in that regards, would you? Yes, ma'am. I'll look into that as soon as we're done here. I'll see what we can do. Okay. Well, thank you very much. You may please go.
Bye. Aye.
And as you're led out, let's see who's up next. That would be
Rab.
Adam Taylor next, then, wouldn't it? We're leaving the worst to last, aren't we?
Wow.
Okay, so Adam, you're brought in next. Hello, Mr. Taylor. Adam, do you prefer Adam?
Adam's fine, yeah.
Adam's fine.
Not Gibson.
Yes, I don't know why people keep calling you Gibson. There's a John Gibson further down, and they keep confusing the two of you. You do look vaguely similar. That's maybe it. Anyway, so
I'm still waiting for that water, by the way.
oh no, they did bring you the water. Yeah, you'll have had that while they were
Okay.
while you were listening to everybody. Well, you as a player were listening to everybody else. So we're just going to make a quick recording of our interview. We've just got a few questions just to clear up the order of events during the course of the thing. Now, could you tell me what happened after the broadcast began?
Well, most of it is on the recording from the studio.
It is indeed, yes, and we'll be taking a look at that later. We're just curious, from your point of view, what exactly happened. Let's take it from the moment that it became apparent something wasn't right.
Well, it started with a bang from the back of the studio where the windows were.
Interesting.
So I kind of went and had a look, and I seen that there was an unmarked van outside.
So terrific banging at back door. Okay. So go on from there. The terrific banging at back door proved to be a van.
So what I decided that we should do was, everyone started to think what's going on. So we went kind of into, is it another attack kind of mode? So we ended up kind of went into full protection mode. We wanted to make sure the presenters were safe, so we kind of upturned the sofas, and then the remaining two sofas we kind of bombarded the back door.
Barricaded
Barricaded the back door and the window.
I see. So secured back passage.
Hard back look down trousers. Prevent a spanking.
Were you one of the people that remained in the soundstage, or were you one of the people that?
I was at this point. Me and Thomas were barricading. The others, apart from Lizzie Ryan, who seemed to be very like into making sure the presenters were safe.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be big fans of them. The rest of them, like Joe Watson and Erin Black and Rab, they left the studio to go and see what it was, to be like first hand.
Rab's a card, doesn't he?
We couldn't see properly through the window.
Couldn't see properly through the window. Okay. So, would you say that Rab was the leader of this little splinter group, or did he go along when somebody suggested it, or?
No, I think he was actually one of the last of the three to leave the room. I think Joe was the first one.
Joe was the first one. Okay, I see. So Joe was the instigator.
I wouldn't say instigator. He's just the one who left. It kind of was like a group thing. It's kind of because we've done a lot together. I mean, not Rab because I don't really see him, but like.
I see. You don't really see.
Stick to the
much
plan,
of Rab,
guys.
do you know? You don't really see the scapegoat.
He kind of
thing,
just.
do you?
He seems to like. I mean, if I can tell you about Rab if you want.
Oh yes, please do.
So I kind of only seen him once or twice at the gym
see,
before this whole thing happened.
So you knew him before the event?
I only saw him in the gym once or twice. He was trying to he used the barbells and stuff very incorrectly, and then he just ended up running out because he seemed to be like drunk most of the time, or high on something.
Did he ever happen to mention somewhere he might go or hide or be or?
Like, for the life of me, I can never tell a word that man says. So no.
I see, right. So you don't really understand him when he speaks. Yeah, I see. Okay.
He's from Glasgow.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the weaponry that seems to have made its way into the building.
Well, actually, well, I do bring mine along just because I like to practice sometimes, and then also just for personal protection in defense because I do MMA, Bojitsu.
Practice on live subjects.
I see. And why exactly would you take that to the studio when you were being interviewed?
Because it would be a prop to be able to use as part of the show.
I see. Okay, so you took your weapons as props. Okay. And what weapons would those be?
It was a Bojitsu staff from me.
Stuff. Okay. And who brought the bow?
I'm not sure what other people bought. They packed their own bags, and I wasn't with them at the time when they packed them. So
Okay.
It's the old customs question. Did you?
Pack
Are you
your own
carrying this bag
bags.
for anybody else? Did you
Yeah.
pack your own bag? Have you let it out of your sight?
Oh, my suspicious neighbour packed it for me. He's so kind.
Okay. Bend over, rubber gloves on.
Okay. She works through a few more questions, but there's nothing there that seems particularly particularly worrying to you. So that you work through the bulk of them sort of as a bit of a breeze. You're getting the impression that they've now started to put a decent picture together, and a lot of people's stories are gelling. Because, well, thank you very much. You can
I'm surprised you didn't ask me about the shotgun.
do tell me about the shotgun.
So this guy barged in. We tried to barricade the door with some wire, but they got in, and then they kind of aimed it at us. And then I kind of disarmed him safely, and then tied him up. That is all. That's all on the video.
So, where did you learn to disarm somebody who was armed with a shotgun?
It's from the same classes. It's a self-defense class.
And did you think that was a wise move to attempt to take a
Because of
potentially
the amount of
loaded
people
shotgun?
in the room, I was willing to risk to disarm because I'm pretty well trained in it. I believe I was capable of disarming,
I see, that's interesting.
which I was.
So believed you were capable.
I did already have the the piece of wood off the chair, so.
Oh, so you were already armed.
Yeah.
I see. And what was your intention for using this improvised weapon?
It was to get the other verse creatures that we thought were coming through, but I did drop that once I'd known.
Have you encountered a lot of these other verse creatures with your friends?
I'm sure you've been told already, but yeah, we kind of we had the one on the train, and then we had the one where we met up after that, and then I had a encounter when I was trying to pick my girlfriend up as well.
Okay, could you just tell me who was present at these other encounters?
Oh, they were just
I was one of them.
You got Aaron, Joe, Thomas, and Lizzie. But not all of the encounters, sorry. But for the when we were picking my girlfriend up, there was her father, I think. I'm not so sure. And Aaron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me what you know about Joe Watson.
Lovely guy.
To be fair, he seems to stick to himself. I don't really know much about him. He kind of likes to cling to us sometimes when I'm trying to go to the lab, but I don't really know.
When you're trying to go to the lab?
The lab, my lab.
The lab, not the bathroom. The lab, laboratory.
I work at the laboratory in Newcastle.
Oh, I see. And what do you do there?
I'm Where's my job title? One second.
You don't seem entirely certain.
It's a secret.
I'm a plant scientist, and I also have been training in the last year in biosciences as well.
I see. So you're botanist.
Very important work.
And bioscientist. Okay. Well, it is very important work at the moment. Yes.
So that year, in the recent last year, I've been learning about these other verse creatures.
I see.
Samples and stuff. But yeah, he comes along sometimes for that. But we don't really communicate because I have so much work to do. Other than that, he seems to be a lonely guy. Doesn't do much. He seems to have a boring life, but tries to play it off like he has an important life, wearing a suit and everything. So
Yes, I
I
think
he's
we
just
all
a
know the
lawyer.
type, don't we? Yes. Sorry,
Yeah.
do go on.
He probably has some like online lawyer's degree.
Probably, yes.
But yeah, like I don't
Bold of you to assume I pass knowledge.
he does kind of like hang with us. But I don't mind him.
Okay. And what about Rab? Does he hang with you?
He tries to, but we ignore him, and then he kind of just goes away.
You just ignore him.
Well, you don't understand
Pretend
him.
he's
That's
not there.
the.
I see, okay.
Just imagining, like, whenever Rab's like trying to talk, we all just put our fingers on our ears and go la 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 la.
But he's normally not with the group, though. No.
I see. Okay, well, thank you very much. We'll have you escorted back to a holding area.
Can I like try to see if I can contact the laboratory to see if I can laboratory, not lavatory.
Laboratory.
If we can either maybe like speed up our blood tests in some way, or maybe get us relocate.
You do legally have the right to a phone call.
You're not being detained under arrest.
Yeah.
And technically, no, they could say, right, under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, etc., or whatever empowers they can enact, quite draconianly, we're being detained against our will at this point in a medical facility.
Yes, currently you've been detained medically under the Emergency Powers Act.
On the jurisdiction of our medical, we can get transferred to another one, maybe. For if I believe.
Well, possible, but it would take longer than you're likely to remain here.
Well, my phone call now might be able to speed things up.
Unless you test positive, in which case you will be
burned.
No, you will be entering the big building you saw just outside there, which is a recently constructed level 5. Level 4, sorry. Level 5, Jesus. Level 4 biohazard hospital. So
only level 4, God.
Well, it only has 4 levels.
Should be 5.
Just sure I recognise you from somewhere as well.
You might have seen me on the television. We've certainly seen you on the television. Okay, well, thank you very much. I will speak to the medical staff, see if we can arrange to have you make contact with your laboratory and see about being moved. But that's not really within our purview. So I'll speak to the medics about that one.
Can I do a perception on the cop before I leave?
Yes, you can. Okay, what were you trying to figure out?
I was trying to see if they're legitimate or not.
They're actually police officers.
Absolutely no idea. With a role like that, they could frankly be puppets. They could be puppets for all you know. Like literal puppets. You have no idea. So you're escorted off, and the next one through, and I've been putting this one off for obvious reasons.
I'm going to make it hard.
So, Joe Watson, you're escorted in now. Do take a seat, Mr. Watson.
Hello?
So, let me just have a look.
Here we go.
Sat there going, hello?
Get your popcorn, guys.
So, and how would you describe your employment, Mr. Watson?
Well, first I'd like to describe my lack of an attorney.
I see. You would like to have your lawyer present, would you?
Yes, preferably I'd like to call my mother, thank you very much.
You'd like to call your mum, would you?
She's a very well-known lawyer.
I see.
I'll have you know.
I
come from a very successful household.
Do you?
You know, we're very well respected, and they won't take kindly to you unlawfully arresting their son.
You seem to be taking this much more negatively than most people, Mr. Watson. Is there a particular reason for that?
I never trust your kind.
Do you?
Oh, God!
Wow.
I'll be entirely honest, we never trust anybody that comes out of the traps quite this aggressively. It usually means they're hiding something. So would you like
There's
to
some
tell
people
us
downstairs that look a bit dodgy.
what it is you're hiding, Mr. Watson?
I'm not talking until my attorney arrives.
Oh, God.
I hate to harp on the point, Mr. Watson, but we live in the United Kingdom. Attorney is an American turn of phrase. If you
I can use whatever phrase I like.
You can, but it's an incorrect one. There are no such things as attorneys in this country. There are barristers and there are solicitors. Which
Well,
would
I'll
you prefer?
tell you what's not incorrect. Am I being arrested?
No, you are not being arrested.
Then I'm
You're
not participating in
assisting
this interview.
You're not, I see. That is very interesting because in our experience, the only people that don't voluntarily participate in interviews are people with something quite serious to hide. Would you like to tell me what that is?
Or maybe the people who don't participate in interviews are the ones who don't want to get their words skewed and rotted with you, your likes of people.
It would be very difficult to twist your words any more torturously than you're doing yourself, Mr. Watson. Would you like to have an English-speaking interpreter brought in?
Oh, that's very funny. Very funny.
I am told that had I not been a detective, I could have been a stand-up comedian. If you hadn't been a layabout that sponges off Mammy's money, what would you like to have been?
You can't say that.
I'll have you know that I'm actually working towards my lawyer's degree
Excellent.
at this moment. Well,
Your
I was
lawyer's
until
degree,
this whole
are you? I
fucked up
see.
situation came around.
This is going about as well as everybody thought it would.
Yes. Well, I have to say, I imagine you have a first-class future ahead with a firm like, I don't know, Hathaway's probably.
No, I'll probably just get employed in my parents' firm. You know, good start and money, much more than you'll ever see as a lonely detective.
Well, quite probably is more than I will ever see, but at least I'll do an honest day's work.
Well, you know what? I became a lawyer because watching all those crooked cops on TV, I wanted to be the person defending the poor souls who get put behind bars by the likes of you.
I see. So which particular American cop shows was it you were watching?
Well, I'm not going to watch any of the English ones, man.
Talking
They're all
about you.
boring.
I see.
Cop ones, the Americans ones have all the guns.
Ah, so you're a fan of weaponry, are you?
Oh, God.
Well, you know, just a passive interest like anyone else. I do like playing my, video games, stuff
I'm not
like
saying
that.
anything without a lawyer. How you're talking.
He's never shut up.
Well,
All she's had to do is goad him a bit and he's just verbal diarrhea in it. So, yes, tell me a little bit more about your enthusiasm for weaponry.
I don't have any enthusiasm for weaponry. You know, it's a passive interest like anyone else.
A passive interest,
You know?
that's right. Didn't sound very
who
passive.
doesn't get
a moment
excited?
ago, did
Who
it,
doesn't
Kenny?
get excited who doesn't get the thrill? You know, the thrill when a gunshot goes off.
I see. So you find gunshots thrilling, do you? Is it the loud banging or is it the injuring of other people that gets you going?
Neither. It's the
Gets you.
danger, you see.
The danger. So
You
you
know?
quite like danger, do you?
Well, you know, the adrenaline junkies, we do exist.
Is that
So
why
damn
you were one
elected.
of the first people out of the room to investigate what apparently you all thought at the time were going to be creatures from the other verse, and yet just 3 of you decided unarmed to take them on?
Well, how else am I gonna? Oh well, retract that. Who else is gonna defend these bunch of civilians?
I see. And you don't consider yourself a civilian, do you not?
I consider myself, you know, slightly above civilian. I've got a fast hand, quick reaction time.
Mitty? Sorry,
Yeah,
go
we
ahead.
fixed.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like, you know, I live in a rough part of Newcastle. You know, I live in Jesmond.
You think Jesmond's a rough part of Newcastle?
I'm from a rough part of Newcastle.
Oh, dear.
When I was little, you should have seen me. They called me Muhammad Ali.
Did they really?
Oh my god.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. What
Sting
the
like a
hell is
butterfly and
wrong?
float like a bee, yeah?
What the hell is wrong with your character, Ben? This is like
Rough part
see
of
with the
Newcastle,
police.
Jesmond.
One of my jobs, right? One of my jobs was I worked for the court support unit, and I used to type up handwritten statements, and I used to think, are these people for real? And do you know what? Yeah.
You know that thing where you go, nobody could be this whatever,
Yes.
right? And whether it's dumb, stupid, or nobody could be fooled by this.
Yeah.
There's somebody somewhere out there saying, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, exactly.
When you tempt fate like that, or
Absolutely.
reality, there's always nobody could be this idiotic.
Yeah.
3 people over there are shouting, "Challenge accepted,"
Accepted,
and they're
yeah.
rushing over.
So, Mr. Watson, as you were saying, you were in a state of some excitement when you ran out of the room in order to play out your gung-ho fantasies. So tell me, at what point did you realise it was actually humans you were up against and not creatures from the other verse?
The bit where I routed a corner and then promptly got hit in the face by a metal pipe. That was a pretty good indication of it
I'm
being
sorry,
humans.
I have a little cough there. So, the metal pipe that hit you in the face, does that explain the face then?
Oh.
At least I have an excuse for my ugly looks, detective.
Indeed. Well, it would seem you do. You ran headlong into your excuse, as I understand it. So, when you're not walking into bars, what else do you like to do?
Well, you know, what do my hobbies have to do with anything? You know, you're here
just having
interrogating me. You're trying to
This isn't an
put this blame on
interrogation.
someone else.
This isn't an interrogation. Oh dear, Sonny.
Seems to me like it is.
You have watched too much television. Does it really? Do you think this is what interrogations look like? I see. We're just having a casual chat so we can establish a timeline. We refer to this as helping the police with their inquiries, but you seem very adverse to helping the police with their inquiries. Is there
What
a
have the
reason
police ever
you
done
don't
for me?
like to be helpful? Well, you're attempting to go into the world of law, are you not?
Yeah. You know, I'm going in as a lawyer. I'm here to fight the system, not help it.
You're going to fight the system by becoming a solicitor. I see. That's a very, very novel
Have you
idea.
ever watched Breaking Bad?
Oh my god! He's now making drugs. Amphetamine.
Oh my god!
Crystal meth.
Have you ever watched Better Call Saul?
Oh God!
Have you ever watched
God,
The Good
stop.
Wife?
Ben, your character needs to realise these are not
You may end up
documentaries.
killing your character off it. Yeah, be careful.
Would you like?
No, I'm not actually saying that.
Would you like a tissue for that?
What?
Your nose. Would you like a tissue for your nose? You're bleeding.
Am I? I don't
in-
think I am.
In fact, your eyes are turning. Could we get a med? You can actually see them pushing back away from you. Could we get a medic in here, please? Medic.
No.
Medic.
No. Don't do what you say.
At
Certainly
which
armed
point
guards
several
first in.
medics come dashing in, by which time you are actually feeling a bit weird now you come to mention it. Give me another constitution stamina test, please.
He's just gave me the illness so he doesn't have to put up with the interrogation.
No, but is it the thing that symptoms were described
No,
as
God.
causing irritability, anger,
Yes.
animosity?
Yes.
You see, this was planned all along. I wasn't just being an idiot.
Oh dear, that's
Roleplay.
Phil.
Oh
So
no!
you start
Kristen
suddenly sort of stomach cramps. You start coughing blood. Also, you're furious at these people. Who do they think they are treating you like this? It's
Who do they
beyond
think they
the
are?
pale.
You know
Take
what? I'm gonna
5
punch
points of
one.
damage.
What?
Take 5 points of damage.
Can I
You are
punch one of them?
coughing blood.
Coughing blood.
Okay, so these.
If I'm furious, can I lash out at one of them?
Yeah, you'll be punching one of the medics, but that's yes. You
Go
can,
on, let me
ahead.
roll. Can I punch the copper? I'd feel much better if I punched her.
No, because they pulled back and the medics rushed forward. So
You want to punch Vera? You want to punch
Yeah.
a wee old lady?
She
Your
insulted my
character's
face.
a bad man.
She
is a bad
insulted
man.
my face.
he is a bad man. Okay, make this attack roll against one of these doctors.
Well, you know where he's going to go, don't you?
Can I aim?
Yes, you can aim. Yeah.
So Joe's going on up to the spirits in the sky.
Okay, so you take the doctor completely by surprise as you slam a fist into the side of his
Is
head.
my dexterity higher than his?
Yep.
Sick.
So go ahead and do the damage.
6 damage.
6 points of damage to the doctor. Okay, so that's 6 up there. Oh, wait a minute. Toughness, so that's down to 5. 8, that's 13. Okay, so you punch the doctor round the side of the head. The doctor starts staggering back. You notice that the doctor's in fact, everybody in the room except you is in a hazmat suit. And this really annoys you. If these illnesses are so dangerous, how come everybody else gets a hazmat suit? You don't,
That is ridiculous.
isn't it? It really
So-
is.
So how many points did he put in narcissism?
I think at this point, I would try and break free the hold and run away. That's what I think I would do.
You're going to try and break free of the hold and run away. Okay.
I'm going to try and break free of the hold and I'll try and run away.
Okay, so the other 2 doctors are going to try and grapple you, apparently. Well, they will be doing, actually. I think that's a fairly likely thing. So let me just give them a fighting... Oh, shit, this is not going to go well. So what's your defense?
14.
14. Okay, so the first one can't keep a hold of you. The second one can't either. So you've just broken free and run for it. Okay, the 2 coppers are taken completely by surprise at this point because they'd actually left the tent while the medics came in to deal with you. And you are now...
I'll just be bolting for the exit if I can see it.
Right, yeah, you can see an exit. There's an exit up ahead just past those 2 armed guards.
I'm going for it.
Okay,
Oh,
as you start running for the exit, you see these 2 armed guards go, you there, stop.
I'll just keep running. They won't shoot me. I'll be fine.
Right.
I'm gonna keep running.
They raise their rifles. Halt! Well, we won't
What
tell
is
you
my
again,
character
sir.
think-
Stay still or
What's
I'm
my
going to shoot.
character thinking? What's Joe thinking?
You're furious that these people would dare to point a gun at you. You're going to take that gun off them and you're going to shove it so far up where the sun don't shine.
Well, I'm not gonna.
You can attempt
I'll,
to make an intelligence test to try and get yourself
I
back
will.
under control.
I will do that.
Sorry, a willpower self-discipline test.
That's even worse, bro.
Oh dear.
Okay. Well, 10.
Okay, so far you've managed to fail the self-discipline test entirely, so the disease has complete and
Well,
utter
in that
control over
case,
you at the moment. Yeah.
I'm not gonna point the gun at them, but I will attempt to knock the gun out of one of their hands.
We've got to
I
get there
guess.
first. We're at the end of the.
Yeah,
this is a
I'll
long-
run up to them and try and I don't know, just punch one of them or something again.
Well, give me.
Because I don't actually want to get shot.
Well, no, I can imagine you don't. Give me a initiative roll, then, please, if you would be so kind. Just give me a second to open the initiative tracker. So.
You're gonna have to stick this because I don't have a pog. Do I have a pog? No, I can't click
not
on it.
yet. No. I'll just run.
You want me to
through-
roll now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh!
I wasn't expecting a fight to break out at this point, if I'm entirely honest, so I don't have a battle map for this, but that's okay, it's not going to last long. What did you get for your initiative?
Dead or unconscious.
He rolled a 17.
17? Fucking hell, right, okay. 17? So that's not too bad.
Because his high dex is the...
So
same.
let
Oh,
me
Joe's
just
Joe's
find
fast.
the soldiers. Soldiers, there we go. Characters. Initiative. And
Are these
initiative.
guards wearing hazmat suits, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
So we have a 13 and a 14. So I'll just
Well, I'm
add
going
these
first.
manually. So that is soldier 1. Add. And come here. Soldier 2. also add Soldier 1 got 13.
Soldier 2 got a 14.
Soldier 2 got a 14. So that looks very much like you're going to be going first, but your first action is going to have to be to reach them. So your major action is going to be to run up towards the exit. You come running up towards these soldiers who have like drawn the guns and are like, "Sir, stop! Hold your position. Don't come any closer or we will fire." That's your major action used. What would you like to do for your minor action?
My minor action will be to do, that defensive thing, where you gain defense and lose a bit of attack.
Yes.
Can I do for 2 points of defense because I really don't want to get shot?
Yes, you can. Okay, so you take up 2 points of defense. You see that the first soldier keeps you covered with his rifle, while the second one, realizing that you are going to make a fight of this, decides to come down and clobber you instead. So, I should probably put clobbering in here. Just a second.
It's clobbering time.
I think my battle plan would be to disarm at least one of them and then run away.
Okay, so I'll just check his fighting, brawling, so that would be 4.
Demise.
This would be 1d6 plus 2 plus strength.
4
so
plus
it's
2. I mean, they are military, to be fair.
4. Okay, so as Soldier 2 advances on you, the other one's saying, like, get down on the floor with your hands laced behind your head. Get down on the floor, sir. And the other guy comes right up to you, and with his rifle, he takes a swing at your nose with it.
This must be terrifying. Like, that won't hit because of my defense thing.
Fucking hell. Right, you duck under as he takes a swing. He clearly thought he was going to hit you, because as he swings it, he says, he told you to get down, swings. And you take him by surprise by ducking under. So that would be Soldier 2's gone, so Soldier 1's taking aim, but he's not doing anything. Well, Soldier 2 is going to need a willpower test, because he's never shot a human in that wasn't actually shooting back at him before. So,
Can I just say, like,
you're
right
a person
now, I'm like,
of his nation. He's not at war with. He's not keen to kill you. So, he will only shoot you if he passes a willpower discipline test.
can I just say, Brian, it'll be terrifying because I'm sprinting at these guys and I'm like bleeding from my nose and my eyes.
And eyes now as well, yeah. Okay, so he's not actually fired at you. He's just kind of pointing. He's still yelling at you to, like, drop down on the ground, put your hands behind your head. I will fire. You're like, well, if you're going to fire, fucking do it, is what's like running through your diseased mind at the moment. The rest of you can all hear this. You've got a nasty feeling that it's in some way related to Joe.
For fuck's sake, not again.
Why is Aaron laughing?
Well.
Okay, so it's combat round 2. What would Joe like to do?
I don't fancy my chances to disarm them, but I was going to do it.
You need to plead insanity.
Well, he is bleeding.
I mean, I'm clearly deceased, so they'll not understand. I'll attempt to. So the one that missed me, I'm gonna try and disarm his friend.
Okay.
If you think of it as a fluid motion, like this guy misses me, I dodge under and I like go towards his friend and try and disarm him.
Bear in mind the friend stayed put and the other guy advanced. You can reach him, but it will take your minor action to do so.
Then no, I'll disarm the guy who's on me.
Okay,
or the
so
guy who
disarm the guy that's attacking you hand
right.
to hand.
Quick rules clarification here, just to butt in. Right. If you're going to use a minor action to gain defense, you have to declare it before you do anything else. Are you going to do that?
Right now, no. I'm going to try and disarm this guy.
You can't do it afterwards.
No, I'm going to disarm this guy and run away.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to try and do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So this would be a stunt attack, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So fighting. Oh shit. And I'll aim if that's okay. Is that wait no? Because
that would take your minor action, wouldn't it?
You're right. So no, I won't aim.
Okay.
Not
13. That might be a hit. Let me just give that a look. Yep, that's a hit.
Really?
So yeah,
Fucking
yeah,
hell.
yeah. So you get 2 points towards a disarm stunt, because you did say you were attempting a stunt attack to disarm.
Disarm's a 3, I think.
I think disarm might be a 3, yes, but I'm going to look it up. Actually, I've got the papers in front of me here. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. So, stunts, general combat stunts.
It's a 2. It's on basic melee.
Yeah, 2 points. Okay, so you need to. I can't actually spot it on this piece of paper. Just tell me what the.
Yeah, you and your target make opposed melee attack rolls without generating stunt points. If you win, knock your enemy's weapon out of their hand.
Right, go for it then.
You both need to make attack rolls then.
Okay, so give
That'd be
me
brawling.
your attack roll, and I'll do
Oh,
this. And
damn.
do fighting,
Well.
brawling. 11.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
God.
you've grabbed his weapon,
Same one.
and you're currently wrestling with the weapon at the time, and as the weapon is being jostled, thinking to see what's going to happen here, it goes off. Utter fucking
fuck.
panic. Lots of screaming. Everybody's like, ah! Other soldiers come running in from outside to see what's going on. The guy that was pointing the gun at you has now determined.
Now that wait.
Mhm.
Now that the gunshots went off, can I make another willpower?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Might have shocked you
That
back
might
into being.
snap you back. Oh
Oh.
dear God, no. So
Willpower is so bad.
the rage that's coursing through your bloodstream with this alien virus is just like, how dare he try and shoot me? Is the thing you think before the other guy tries to shoot you. So he fires a single aimed
Could
shot.
I?
Sorry,
Oh,
that
fuck.
should be 17. I forgot to add his aim bonus.
Well, he's hit me.
Okay, so he's only firing a single shot, and it's 10 points of damage.
Well, I'm still alive.
Ouch.
I have 11 hit points
Somehow.
left.
Okay, so the shot hits you in the side and goes straight through the fleshy bits at the lower abdomen. The shock of the impact gives you another chance to save against the rage.
Does it have to be willpower?
I'm afraid it really does, yes.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Okay, so
Well, no willpower.
You're surrounded by medics, Ben. I
yeah, you
think
should
will
be all right. So the rest of you have heard a gunshot, and you've heard all the screaming that's resulted.
Heard 2.
Yeah, you've heard 2 now. So the guy whose rifle you're wrestling with, he lets go of the rifle with one hand, right, and draws his pistol and
Oh,
tries to shoot you in the leg with a pistol. So he gets
At least
plus
it's only the
3
leg.
for this. Oh dear, right, okay. Bang! So he shot you in the leg. 7 points of damage.
well, I'm not looking too good. I
Okay.
have 4 hit points left.
See if this has snapped you out of your rage.
Am I getting any bonuses to this?
Sadly, no.
Oh, is that better?
It's not good. It's not good. So you're still raging, but both of the soldiers
I'm refreshing the
have gone.
page.
Yeah, give it a
gonna
go. See
refresh.
if you can get some better rolls out of it. So it's Joe to go.
Well,
You've
I
still
wanna-
got a hold of this weapon. You can try and pull it out of his hands again if you want to.
if I pulled it out of his man, because the thing is, I think I don't want to be that's what my character would do, but I think at this point with the virus and everything, I'd probably want to shoot them back, but I know that would get me killed.
You are absolutely raging at this. Have you seen 28 Days Later?
No, but I've seen clips. I know what it'll be like.
Yeah.
Zombie rage virus.
So maybe I'm not intelligent enough
Yeah.
to try and shoot him. I'll probably just. Would I be intelligent enough to try and shoot him?
Yes, you still
Think.
keep enough intelligence, but you just can't control your rage.
So if I got the gun off him this
Yeah.
round, would it be next round I would shoot him, or would it be this round as well?
It would be next round. Yeah.
Okay, I'll probably be dead by then anyway. But
Yeah, not be dead.
I'll try and get the gun off him.
Okay, go for it.
Just,
Honestly, I wouldn't want to have you killed here by gunshots. Not when I can have you killed by the rage virus in 3 days'
Okay,
time.
so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the +2 defense thingy majiggy.
Okay, yes.
So my defense will be 16 now.
Right, okay.
But you're going to grapple for the gun, yeah?
A 12, it's okay.
12, that's not too bad. Let's just see what the soldier manages with his brawling attack. So that would be fighting, brawling. You've got the gun.
Oh my god. And I got 4 stun points.
And you've got 4 stun points, yes.
Is it?
Do I actually get the stun points? Because this is a...
No, because it did say no.
There's no SP
Okay.
generated.
No SP
in
generated
the-
from this. So you grab the gun and you're now ducking and weaving to try and... his mistake was obviously letting go of it with one hand. So Soldier 2, realising that
I
you
imagine
now
I
have
like
a gun...
headbutted him in the face.
Yeah. Soldier 2, realising that you now have a gun, fires at you again with his pistol, which is what he drawn last round, in a desperate attempt to bring you down. So he's going to use an aim. I should probably just click aim on. And you're outnumbered because there's 2 of them firing at you, so he gets +1 on whatever this is. 14.
He hasn't hit.
Okay, he hasn't hit. So the other trooper is now going to attempt the same thing, except he's going to use his rifle. Carefully aiming. Oh, I didn't click aim on there, did I? Yes, I did.
No, you did. It says +1.
So
that
it's
also doesn't
16
hit.
in total because he gets +1.
Well, 16 in total. My defense is 16.
16, so that's a hit, but just barely.
Okay.
So
Well,
13 points of damage.
But I am on -9.
-9. Okay, so you hit the ground, you poof, and you go poof. That's the last thing you remember. The rest of you can hear these gunshots go off. It's quite sort of panicky. Eventually,
I'm actually on the floor.
You're on the floor. Yeah. Who else is doing anything other than hitting the ground?
Where was I? Was I
In
in
one
a
of the
side room near where they were
Yes.
in one? Right. Okay. So would I be able to see what was going on?
Give me a perception test. See if you can find a crack in the tent to see out. I'm going to say perception of.
Okay.
It's going to be hard to do, so I'm going to say 15 or better.
Yeah, try to say.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so you're not sure, but you heard like several rounds of gunfire going off. Lots of running and screaming and shouting. After the last shot, the echo, all of your ears are ringing. Right? Everybody's ears are ringing. The last shot, though, the sounds outside change, not just because the gunfire stops, but it's changing from mass panic to people, like medics reacting the way you would expect medics to react in a somebody has been hurt situation. So you can hear people like yelling for a crash cart. You can hear somebody yelling like, doctor, quickly, gunshot wound. And there's like there's
Several.
more. Yeah, several gunshot wounds. So let's find out whether you survive.
Hey,
I would
This
say
is
your
gonna
chances
be-
are exceptionally good at this point, but you know how dice can be, so I don't want to...
I mean, I took 2 rifle rounds and a pistol round. That's quite significant.
Yeah, but you're literally standing in a hospital surrounded by medics. I think the chances are
Good
pretty
shot.
fucking good. So they need 11 or better with medicine intelligence test.
What was your thoughts at doing around this?
Ah, you're fine.
Well,
Yeah, they've
rage,
stabilised you. They've stabilised you. So that's the last thing you remember for a while, but you're not going to die. We'll come back to you shortly.
That's good.
Meanwhile, the rest of you, most of you are still lying on the floor with your head under your hands when somebody opens the door and says, sorry about all the excitement there. We'll best get you back to your tents. You can see they try and stop you from looking up one end of the of the thing as they hustle you back towards the... You can try, though. You can make a perception
Yeah, I
seeing
want to
test.
try.
Perception
I'm
seeing.
gonna have a look.
Try and see.
Target number is 11 this time.
Ooh, actually did all right there.
Okay, so there
Looks
are
like I've got
several
Joe's dice.
armed guards standing around all of a sudden. There are 2 armed guards
Right.
who are kneeling on the ground with the weapons away from them, who are being questioned by superior officers. The police officers are also in on the interrogation of these two armed guards that were involved in whatever the hell's happened. There is blood all over the place, and there is a body on a gurney. There's a blanket
Oh,
over
God.
them, but the blanket stops under the chin, which suggests this person is still alive. But the blanket
Can I tell
has
who it
turned
is?
oh yeah, it's Joe.
Right. Oh
That
shit.
fucking idiot, but I'm
I'll
so
shout.
shocked.
There's several medics
I'll
trying to
shout and
work
go.
on
What happened? I'll say I can help. I have medical training, and I'll shout and I'll try to
Make-
run over and help.
Okay, make a communications persuasion test.
Oh God. Ooh, 18 with 5 stumps.
Okay, so you're just so like, I can help, I'm a medic. You just run over and start getting involved. You can see somebody is already pressing paddles to his heart, trying to get it started again. You can see he has multiple gunshot wounds. You can see he's bleeding from the nose and the eyes and the ears. You can't quite explain that. Give me...
And you're
Yeah,
not,
I'll say.
and you're not wearing a hazmat suit.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Oh, you might actually be infected now.
so first thing
Well,
to do...
this is just how it is.
Yeah, first thing to do, Jenny, would be to give me a medical test. So that would be
Okay.
intelligence medicine.
19.
Okay, so you are part of the medical team which saves Joe's life. This is something you may come to regret in future.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Nah,
what's
she's
going
always
on,
going to
so-
hold this against me. Like, shut the fuck up, we're going on my plan. I saved your life.
Now, could you give me a Constitution stamina test, please?
Oh God. 12.
Oh dear. Is
Oh
that all you
no.
got?
No, shame you haven't got any hands of fate points.
Oh, God, this... it's going to be like, now Jenny's going to be the rage virus person and she's going to get shot.
You think it's just going to like roll down the line, one of you at a time?
Yeah, exactly. Just slowly everyone's getting shot.
Yeah, I just need to find the David William conspiracy theorists.
We have all been given a shot, though.
You have all been given a shot.
We
Shame it's not
have.
for this
Yeah.
particular
I
room.
still turned though, didn't I?
You were already infected, though.
Okay, that's
Oh,
a
do they
very
not
good
work
point,
after?
though.
That's sure.
So you do get +2 on your test, which would take it to a 14. So
Okay.
they once you've finished, they say like, this man's obviously infected. Take him over to the secure unit, and you can see people in hazmat suits roll them out, but not before they put like it's sort of like the helmet from a hazmat suit. They've put it over the top of him and strapped it in tightly to his body, and they're rolling him out, not the main entrance, but another door down the other side.
Before all of that, can I ask like what the hell happened?
You can, but you're going to have to follow us this way, I'm afraid, because we're going to have to take more tests for you. You may have become infected when you dealt with the patient, who obviously was.
Oh, wonderful. Right. Okay. But just
So
tell me what happened.
Okay, they take a second load of tests from you, and they describe what happened. They said during his interrogation with the police, he became suddenly interview with the police. He became suddenly and irrationally violent.
Okay.
He then he didn't. He began to bleed from the eyes and nose, so the police called in the medics.
Right.
As the medics arrived, he became irrationally violent. He struck one of the medics, causing him some minor injuries, and then ran out of the tent where he was being interviewed and attempted to attack the armed guards at the end of the corridor leading to the exit. They gave him several warnings, which you did actually hear. But then, as one of them attempted to passively subdue him, is how they describe it, which might not be actually quite accurate, but that's how he's describing it, passively subdue him. He attacked that guard and seized his rifle, so the guards opened fire. Eventually,
Right.
after taking it took 3 rounds, we think, to stop him. So we've rushed him to the level 4 facility. We hope to be able to deal with both his ailment and his injuries there. Unfortunately, we have to tell you his chances are not good. The survival chances of people with this particular ailment, it seems to be some kind of infection that degrades the neurons in the brain, makes people extremely violent, causes some lesions and swelling in the brain, and patients usually don't survive.
Oh, wonderful.
I know
But,
obviously I'm not there, but like, what's the survival percent? Like, what's the
Nil.
Yeah.
So far, approximately 1/3 of people that contract the virus survive it if it's treated quickly enough.
So 2/3 of people die, and I'm sure like leaking blood from gunshots probably isn't going to help that chance.
It's liable not to.
It might have taken away some of the infection.
It might.
That's true.
It
Really?
might.
Thank you, officer.
The blood transfusion you are almost certainly going to need now is possibly going to be helpful at this stage.
It's going to be clean blood.
I'll say, well, perhaps Adam Taylor might be able to help. He works in.
He's a neurovirologist or whatever.
Yeah.
Biologist,
Yeah.
virologist.
Virologist or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, he did mention that, I think, so it might be time for us to get him some
A multi bio. What did I think I actually had a name for it? Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Mm.
Okay, so Adam, you find about an hour after you've been returned to your tent, the medics come to speak to you about assisting them with the work, what they're going to do. Obviously, for the next 2 days, they'll have to keep you in isolation. So your options are they can bring you a laptop and get you set up and connected here so that you can help with the not the actual physical hands-on work, but the like the modelling and
data analysis.
I'll
exactly.
need me notes, camera, and a electronic microscope.
Yeah,
I mean, especially
tools.
considering he's already got samples of some of the creatures and everything, it might be able to help. You know.
Just give us
We
a
won't be
second.
able to bring
I
the
just need
samples
to take one of
here,
these
but
levels of clothing off. Hold on.
Yeah, and if you need any samples in our blood, well, it's everywhere.
I won't be able to bring the samples of the aliens with us, but or whatever else we've found in the last year. But I'll be able to
about 8 layers of clothing.
contact someone.
But they'll all be down at the lab, won't they?
Well, the bizarre thing about South Stanley, Ben, is it's freezing cold during the day, but the minute the sun goes down, the temperature climbs quite noticeably. I have no idea what caused it. I'm sure somebody could tell me, but
Actually, my laptop might probably be with their supplies anyway.
It's that what do you call it? Radiative heating.
Well, definitely not in this room. It isn't, because the radiator in this room isn't on.
No, I was meaning the ground gives back the heat.
The ground. Oh yes, it probably is something along those lines. Yes. Okay, so Chris, the other option they give you is they can transfer you up to the level 4 facility, but you would be working from inside one of the patients, like of your own. You would just be put in one of the
you'd be in an isolation room.
Rooms yourself, still with all the same equipment. And then, if your tests come back negative, you would just be moved over to the lab after that. So the choice.
No, Chris, you wouldn't be in the same room as me. You'd have your own box.
Yeah,
it might be better than a tent.
It'll probably almost certainly be better than a tent. Yeah.
But you won't have the company of all your friends.
Speak to Aaron Black about this.
Of course you can, yeah. Now the police have finished speaking to you, you can talk to one another. Obviously, at the
Okay.
moment, you can't visit one another until we're sure that you're not. But we can. You can talk to her through the tent wall.
So what do you know? What do you know? What's going on?
Well, I'll just relay what happened. I'll say he got shot.
They
Apparently
shot
he
him,
was.
but let's be honest, we've all thought about it.
Yeah. I'll say he was bleeding from his eyes and mouth. They said that he was uncontrollably angry, and I'll just go over everything with that.
I
So
don't really want to be in the same room as like an infectee.
Oh, you're
have
not going
they
to be in the same
found
room.
have
Oh,
they found out if I am infected or not? Then.
I know it's going to take 2 days to find out.
Oh, right. Okay.
Won't they have
Well,
to
if you
redo our-
start
won't they-
bleeding from
won't
your
they-
eyes, you'll know.
Yeah,
Won't they have to redo our blood tests because they were done before?
yeah. I've already
She
said.
wallowed in.
I've
Yeah.
already said they've had to retest her. Yeah.
Yeah.
give me the
okay.
options again.
Options are stay here or be transferred up there. Either way, you'll be in a pod of your own. It's just here, the pod will be this tent, but you can speak to your friends. If you go up there, the pod will be the more comfortable, but it'll be a full isolation pod in a level 4 biosafety facility.
Okay.
Either way, you'll be given your instruments.
I'll stay down here.
You want to stay down here? Right, you are. Okay. So, does anybody down here want to do anything at this point?
Can't really do a whole lot.
No.
Not really. Okay.
No.
So the
Can I ask
next.
a quick question?
Yes, you can.
I mean, it doesn't matter anymore, but when I was getting shot, should I have been applying my constitution to that?
Not against ballistic damage, no.
What about against the virus damage?
Uh,
Does that work?
I've not really given that
I've
enough thought,
got it.
have I? Yeah,
Because
probably.
he only took 5
Okay.
points of virus damage, though, didn't he?
Yeah, you did.
I know it doesn't really matter. It's just for future reference because
Alright.
I'm sure it's not over. Is all.
No, you'll probably be taking more damage from the virus, certainly.
Yeah, so I'll know for future reference.
Okay, so yes, that's a very good point. I would say, yeah, I'm going
Just
to.
because I'm stronger, so my body will be more
Yeah,
resistant to
I'm going to
whatever
say
it is.
yes, you can apply your toughness because we are playing this on the pulp setting. So yes, you can definitely apply your toughness to the virus damage, but not to
That's fine.
not to
I'm so
ballistic
tough.
damage.
Bullets just ricochet off my face.
We should probably sort out how many health points you've got back at the moment as well. So you got back.
Well, I am on -9 at the moment, so
Okay, well, it's just 0. We don't track negatives in age.
okay.
You either have a positive number or you have 0.
Well, I'm on 0.
So you're on 0 at the moment, and the medic rolled a dice.
It was 15 with 2 stunt points.
2 stunt points. Okay, so it is
Back
there.
up. Yeah, intelligence medicine there.
Intelligence and medicine.
Did Erin get any fancy rolls? Because I know she did a.
you can
on me.
make one now, actually, Jenny. Go ahead, give us a medical roll. Or did you already do that? I
okay.
think you already did, didn't you? No, you've
She,
already.
yeah,
did,
she
she
got a
rolled.
19.
You already
I-
did.
I did.
You got a 6 on your stunt dice, so we take
Mm.
your stunt dice instead of the medic stunt dice, which
Okay.
means Joe gets back 6, 10, 12. 12 health points
Okay, it's all right then.
in total. So 6 from the leading medic and 6 from Erin's assistant.
Okay.
So there you
I'm
go.
gonna pull through.
You ain't dead.
Not this time, anyway.
Not this time, exactly.
I'm
I
gonna
am
come
just
back
gonna-
a changed person now. You know.
You probably. I'm just going to show you the isolation wall. I've spent ages on this.
Oh fuck.
Not
I'm gonna
nearly
come
as
back
fucking
and
long
I'm-
as I spent on the stairwell, which may or may not come
myself
up
in the
at
bed.
some point. But that's a sore point at the moment, because the reason I spent ages on that is things went horribly wrong. So there you go. That's the facility that Joe wakes up in. Just a tiny little
black.
room with a bed, some medical gear.
I can't see anything.
You're
Yeah,
not
I've got
able
black
to because
square
you're
and
not
all.
Joe.
Oh, right.
No, that's okay.
I'll tell you what I could do. I'll use this medic here, and I will give him.
Well, I can
sight.
see two other people. Someone is called something Rager. And the other guy, I can't see his name, but I can probably see like the top of his head or something.
Yeah.
Or feet.
Details controlled by all players.
Oh, we actually have privacy when we go to the loo. It's not like a prison.
Yeah. So there you go.
Right.
You should all be able to see it now. Through
Yeah.
the eyes of this medic.
I can see through the medic as well. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just be moving the medic around a little bit.
Yes, it's cool.
Oh, there's so
Cool.
many infected people.
So there you go.
Ew.
You can see Joe Watson is in there, starting to recover. Well, he's feeling better.
So
when
what
he
do
wakes
I-
up.
Where would I have been if I was here?
Well, if you were here, you'd have been in one of those little rooms.
Oh,
It's quite nice.
But you decided to stay down at the tent.
I think I made the right choice.
Okay, so 2 days later, your tests all come back negative.
Yay!
So
Thought he was
you
going to say
lot-
28 days later.
28 days later, yeah,
Yeah.
your tests all come back negative, so you are not infected. You're not infected with bloody flux, berserk, or the other one they were testing for. I'm not quite sure what it's
I'm guessing
called.
I have Berserk.
Gut stroppy outie.
Yes. Okay, so
I hear it's the shits.
yeah. However, there does seem to be a steady stream. You've noticed over the 2 days there seems to be a steady stream of people coming in and being tested. And every day there seems to be a fair number of people being taken off to the level 4
Facility.
facility. As
There you go,
well.
that's Rab. There you go, it's
Right.
Rab doing that.
So-
Wait, you know what I've just thought?
Mhm.
Sorry, I've just raged out here, and me and Rab got infected at the same time.
Yeah.
So he's probably raged out and killed a... Oh, God.
Well, it depends who's how. Yeah, it depends.
But is that not
Right,
just
cool.
normal
Okay.
behaviour for him?
Yeah, true. The more
Right.
angry you become, the more difficult you have in controlling it, and the more angry you become, and it kind of spirals. It's like a
Yeah.
Feeds off itself.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Chris, you've been working on these things, so give me a intelligence research test, please.
Yep.
Okay. So they are that's a 13. Okay, so what you know from the files you've been let in on, there are 3 separate there are 7 separate diseases. But this facility only seems to have encountered 3. The 2 primary ones are bloody flux and berserk. And it
I
seems
Berserk.
that
You can actually add a +1 to that, sorry, because of expertise.
Okay, no problem. It seems that about 25% of the patients that come here have both bloody flux and berserk.
Oh, shit.
Bloody flux causes bleeding from various organs as they start to liquefy, and is almost
Ugh.
always fatal. Whereas berserk causes swelling of the brain, which sometimes causes blood from the eyes, nose, and mouth, and sometimes ears. So
Right.
therefore, it can be difficult at first to tell which it is. But berserk is so named because it causes people to have an inability to control their anger, and they just when they become enraged, they become violently enraged.
Mm.
Well, I'm very glad that my organs aren't liquefying, so
Mm.
that's nice.
So this was 2 days, we said, didn't we?
Just your brain
Mhm.
instead.
Okay, so you've had 2 long rests, Ben.
I've had 2 long rests.
So your
I'll
long
probably be up
rests
to
would give you 10 plus your constitution plus your level back in hit points each.
And if I get 2 of those, I'll be up to full by now.
Each day.
However, could you give me a constitution stamina test for day 1, please?
I'm just going to put my health on full. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, if we're doing this day 1, so I had 11.
Yeah.
12. I
That's
had
fine.
12.
No, that's
And then
fine.
when-
Just do your health up full first,
Okay.
and then give me the.
Damage.
Nanima. Constitution. Oh, fuck's sake.
Oh no.
I'm refreshing again. I'm not
So the
doing it.
first day, could you reduce your? I just need to check which one this is. So stage 2, master handout. PCs. Characters, which apologizes. Remember. Keep calm and carry on. Rick Suncrest, monsters. Complications, stunts. Ah dear, right, okay. It doesn't seem to be on the master handout.
Did it stunt? What? I just had stunts as well.
No,
The
don't worry,
virus
I'm just
stunted.
reading through something. I'm trying to find a missing handout, which was definitely here the last
That's
time
quite
because
ominous.
I used it at the time.
Is it a shared one or just a private one?
No, it'll just be a Games Masters one.
Oh,
But
well then.
it's nowhere to be
No help.
seen, weirdly enough. That really is quite odd. Record stage 2 intro. Chapter 1. In fact, there seems to be a number of them missing. Now I'm looking. Yeah, there's quite a number of handouts that should be here and aren't. In fact, there's entire characters not here.
You haven't just saved them on your actual computer rather than Roll20.
No, because I put them straight into Roll20.
You need to do a
That's
refresh.
worrying.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe.
going to try that. Because that's a bit concerning. It's almost like they had a system failure and reinstalled from an early thing, but I've not heard about any of that. It's not happened to anyone else, so it's not likely, so there must be another explanation. Well, I said must. There could be another explanation. Okay, let me try that again. No.
These are very open, like the glass. I can see into other people's rooms.
Yes,
like, from the side of my room.
Yeah. There are curtains which can be drawn over the glass when
Oh,
a
at least there's
medic's want to,
curtains.
but it's kept like that so that a medic can see into multiple rooms at once by looking through one room into another. There we go.
Who's been drawn on the map here?
Oh shit! That I've just realised I have the paintbrush on instead of the pointer, so that was my bad.
I thought there was some green slime coming up the corridor to get you.
I was literally just wondering, like, what? That's my colour. How did that get there? And then I started drawing. I was okay.
Okay, that's not coming up there either. Shit.
Maybe for the technical difficulties at the moment.
Yeah, one or two fairly serious ones with information just missing in that. I can't figure out why.
You did put them into this episode, yes?
Should be. It's all
you
in
didn't
the
stick
same
them.
file. It's all in the same game, rather. Yeah. But that's
Yeah,
it. Almost everything to do with this, with stage 2, is missing. I found the conspiracy theorists, and I found the title for Ready for Your Close-Up. That's Ready for Your Close-Up NPCs. So, where the fuck? Never mind. I'm just going to have to try and remember how I designed the...
Well, if you get it wrong, we can always correct it next episode. So it's
Let's see.
if I just randomly die.
You're
next
not randomly
episode, you
die.
guys know
Don't
why.
worry. You're not quite at that stage yet.
Your brain explodes.
Well,
okay.
that can happen with some. There is one of the. Chris, you'll know this from your research. One of the alien ailments, which doesn't appear to have landed in the UK yet, causes people's brains to swell to the point that eventually their head explodes.
Wonderful.
Would your GM note not be on? I think I might know where it might be for you.
Okay.
So on chapter 3, keep calm and carry on. Underneath research, is it not going to be there?
I doubt it, because we're not in chapter 3. We're on stage 2. Chapter 3 is in stage 1, but I'll take a look.
A bad case of bloaty head.
Yeah. Nope, it's not there.
If I see them, I am automatically calling them poppers.
Okay, well, yeah, you can do. Let's just crack on anyway, and I'll.
Last time you took damage, you rolled 2d6.
Right, yes, but there's also some stat erosion, which is about due
does
for
that have
that,
to be?
and what I can't remember whether it's intelligence or willpower. I
Please
think
don't be willpower. Jesus Christ.
it's...
Is this permanent, by the way?
No, it's, well, depends whether you survive it or not.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
if my brain's swelling and it's messing with my neurons, then it would be intelligence, to be fair.
yes, it's
'Cause
probably
if the-
likely. So temporarily reduce your intelligence by 1.
Okay, is there a way I can do this without... Because my intelligence is 1. Can I put it in brack? No.
No, you can't really.
Give yourself a focus with a -1.
Yes.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'll do
Yeah.
that.
Aye.
We call it corrosion or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
So you're finding it
Int.
even more difficult to keep your anger under control now. So that was day 1. You also took 2d6 damage. So let me just. But you're in a medical facility, so that will be reduced as long as one of the medics can. Let me just find the medics.
Yeah, I've called it int corrosion, and its stat is 0, so that's my intelligence now.
Okay, good. So medic is going to make a roll. Okay then, that's not done anything. Okay, let's try that again. There we go, 13, that's a pass. So the medic will half the damage. So let's just see what the damage to your health is. So it would have been 2, but due to the treatment you're receiving, you get a 1. So Ben, you've woken up in bed in one of these little pods, so you can see through the glass into the corridor where there's medics moving around in the corridor. They're in full hazmat suits. You can see through the glass into the rooms either side of you. And this makes you angry because you've got no privacy.
I'm not happy about that.
These people are just allowed to look at you. Who the fuck do they think they are looking at you? What's he doing there? Look at that one. He's right up against the glass, licking the glass and looking at you.
Oh,
That's a woman.
She's you're struggling to tell at the moment, but she's right up against the glass, looking at the glass and looking at you.
Lovely.
well, I'll probably... Are you asking me, like, I'll do a willpower to see if I'm going to flip out.
Okay, go ahead.
And if I flip out, I'll throw something at the window if there's anything that isn't bolted down.
You appear to have successfully controlled yourself.
Fucking hell, I passed a willpower test.
You're aware of the fact that the last time you freaked out, you got shot. And it's surprising how quickly that sobers you down and you sort of calm down and you think, I'm in the right place, I'm in a hospital, these people know what I'm doing. Look, none of these people are dead yet. So day 2. This will be the same day that everybody else gets their all clear. So day 2. Give me another constitution stamina test, please.
By the way, the first one, it wouldn't have got through my constitution, so I'm good so far.
Right,
Oh,
okay,
great.
yes, of course. All right.
These shit rolls today.
Okay,
God damn.
so once again, you are getting worse. You're finding it difficult. You don't lose another point of intelligence today, because it's not every day that you lose it. So let me just take a look. But make a note somewhere on your character sheet that you've been infected for 72 hours now.
Infected for 72 hours.
There'd be a way to release the pressure on his head.
What they normally do is
Shoot
they
in the
Drill
back
it.
of the head.
Yeah. They
Spike.
put a drill. Yeah.
There you go, mate. That should
Bit of
help.
comfort this lot.
honestly glad you guys aren't my doctor.
Okay, the medic
was-
successfully reduced the damage again, so it'll be half whatever this comes out at. Oh, bloody hell. Another
one.
double
Yeah.
1.
Not taking any damage.
So you're not
These
taking
doctors are
any
doing me
damage, but
good.
you're not feeling terribly well, and you kind of you're drugged out half of the time, at least half of the time. So, what are you guys all doing? You've just been given the all clear. You're free to go.
We find out how he's doing, and how long he might be in here for.
Certainly. Currently, he doesn't seem to be responding to treatment. So, at the moment, the prognosis is not good.
Right. Okay.
Me and my shit rolls.
Imagine he has about 2 weeks to live.
Oh, sure.
However,
Yeah,
some of the doctors are finding him extremely annoying, so it might be shorter than that. They're just trying to decide on which grade of pillow is the best to hold over his face at the moment. No, they're not.
He's a fancy lad. Give him the swan feathered one.
You can't have swan feather pillows.
They're not bothering to conceal his low chances. There's not much point because, Chris, you've got access to his medical records anyway.
I'm basically his etymologist.
Yes.
Right.
So all these tests, would I be getting the bonus from being vaccinated or whatever?
Actually, yes, you get +2 on all these tests.
Not like it would matter anyway, but
I mean, you've had some pretty shocking rolls so far, but remember you get +2 in the future. Yeah. So,
Okay,
thank you very much for your cooperation. We're very pleased to say that you're not infected. You are free to go if you would like to. In fact, you have get out.
Right. I guess we should probably head back to the bunker, I suppose.
No.
Make sure Rab's not hiding out there.
Let's get all the people together on the outside and let's formulate a plan of what we're going to do. Let's go to the nearest cafe.
That's a good idea.
And have a coffee.
Tell you what, while you go to a cafe to have a coffee and make a plan, I'm going to quickly dash to the bathroom. You guys start making your plan. I'm going to leave your mics out to the audience, so they can hear your startlingly good plans, and you can you can catch me up on them when I get back from the bathroom. I'll just be a moment.
So what are we going to do? We know right, this is us talking in confidence between ourselves in low, hushed voices, while we're suspiciously watching out for people following us, etc. We'll make sure that no one's tailing us, and we haven't had any bugs implanted on any of the clothing and apparel, boots, whatever we've been given back our property. Yeah.
Mm.
Right.
Jeez, are you getting like chased by the Soviet state or something? Like that?
No. We've been interviewed by the police about an incident, and they weren't giving us the full story. Come on.
They need a warrant to bug you, man. It's fine.
No, they don't.
They do.
Actually, if it's prevention of terrorism, they don't.
We're not terrorists.
It doesn't matter. They could use the legislation.
What?
Yeah, and there's probably emergency powers going on anyway with the whole multiverse, whatever otherverse thing, and we've been, how should we say, associated with a terrorist group, an armed terrorist group that attacked.
Associated by getting attacked by you.
Well, you never know that we're under suspicion. I would say,
fair enough.
You know, because somebody got shot with a bow, shot with an arrow, I should say.
Was it a bow or a crossbow? I don't remember what I shot him with. I think it was a crossbow. Yeah, it was. It's a crossbow. Not like it matters. I still shot the guy.
Right, it's shot with a crossbow. So, I think the police knew everything that went on, and they've reviewed the CCTV. They've had 2 days to review the studio footage anyway, so they'll know who did what.
It's kind of a bit more pressing matters on it at this point, I think.
Right. So you basically, I suppose you want to continue researching the virus.
And I don't know whether to take you to a different location or not.
Well, you should go back to your biolab.
We should really figure out where Rab is, though, because
the one in the bunker or the one at the actual facility.
The facility. We don't go to the bunker.
Okay.
Yeah,
but Rab will be at the bunker, you know. I think that's
right. No, look, listen. Right. We don't yet go to the bunker. We carry on as normal for a few days.
Yeah.
right? Because we're likely to be tailed.
The problem with that is if Rab's out there and he's at the bunker and he's not been secured or anything, and we go back there,
He'll
then
be dead on the
we
floor.
attack everybody. Nobody,
You know,
no, because
we legally own the bunker anyway, you know. Won't the police have records of us, you know, purchasing the bunker? Or do we pay
They'd
them in
have to
cash?
do some
Nah.
digging. They'd have to do some digging for that, and land
Yeah.
registry stuff takes a while to come back.
There's a
Fair
private
enough.
trade with the farmers, so
And who actually officially owns the bunker?
The farmer
It's
was
that
on his
farmer
land.
guy, yeah.
we bought
So-
it, didn't we?
Yeah, we
didn't
just
rent
full
it.
of bought it from him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I'm saying, you say we, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we-
but there needs
I
to
paid
be
the
this.
bill.
What the point Sean is trying to make is the transaction would have to be registered with the land registry for us to
Would we
properly
have done
own
that?
it, right? That means there need to be names on the land registry. What Sean's
we have
getting
done
at
that?
is which names went on that. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's what the police will come up with.
Mhm.
Would we have put our names on it?
It'd be whoever rolled the highest on the initial income thing, I guess. I
Well, that
rolled
would have
pretty
either
high.
been me or Jenny because we've got the most money.
No, I rolled high as well. You didn't roll that well.
Right. Did
What do you mean I
we
didn't roll that well?
no,
I'm wealthy.
listen. Did we form a business?
I think
Never
we
really
did
discussed
because the
this.
plan was to
Yes.
use it as a sort of studio and to run the
Haunted
Escape
ghost
rooms
house,
tours
and
and
things.
everything, escape rooms.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
would
we
it
would
not
have had to.
would it not have been registered under the company name?
Yes. So it'll
Right,
take them a while to track
or the
back.
business name, and then so there's a chain to go through anyway. But yeah, it's that sort of thing. The problem we have is that we could be immediately followed,
Mhm.
and we all just get in the same car together and all travel together, and it's kind of a bit too pally.
Yep.
Right, but you can call me for being suspicious, but
No, I think it's reasonable.
yeah.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'm not
'cause
saying
all
we
of our
shouldn't go to
stories-
the bunker. I'm saying we should. Right,
We
'cause
split up a
that-
little bit and go to different like B&Bs or hotel or even our own homes.
different routes
own
or whatever,
homes,
and
yeah.
different vehicles.
To be fair, all of our stories did say that we had kept in touch in some way, but some people said that we did hang out, and then some people said that we didn't hang out too much. So
Different people, different association. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm just think we should be cautious because I can see it coming back to get us.
then I just didn't answer questions, and then
Well,
yeah.
you're a nut job anyway, and you were infected, so that's your excuse.
I have an excuse for like flipping out I was infected, so that's not actually that suspicious.
Am I
It's
able
all
to
right.
get
You
the
might not
patient list,
survive
by
long
the way?
enough to have to be asked again. Sorry, say that again.
Am I able to get the patient list?
Yes.
People who come in.
Yeah, you can get a patient
Average,
list.
like amount of what people have, like ailments and stuff.
Right. Quick question on that then. If you can get hold of a patient list,
Yes.
can you get the background details of where these people were when they were suspected becoming infected, or the area and where they live? What's the distribution geographically?
You probably
Then
could
is there a
give
trail?
me
I was going to say that, but
yeah, give me a research test, please. Intelligence research.
It
I
wouldn't
think
be.
you
I'm
guys-
suggesting it, but it's not my field of expertise as a character to do that sort of
I'm
thing.
saying to Chris to give us the roll.
You know,
That's 15.
think you
That's
guys-
enough. Yes. Okay. Go.
I think
Sorry.
you
Go
guys,
ahead.
after seeing me like flip out and everything, you'd probably be considering, reporting Rab because maybe he was infected. He was, headbutting the guy and all that.
Is like that
was
normally
infected,
though?
So
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing you've got to remember is this is
you walked
that's
through him under the bus
meta
anyway. You may as well.
meta knowledge, right? The police
I know,
probably
but that-
already have it from the CCTV footage inside the building.
I know, but like if you think about this as like, Jenny's a medic, Chris works with like viruses and everything. You've seen what this virus can do to me. You've seen it firsthand. And
No, I
you
haven't.
also know that Rab was in very close proximity with someone who was infected. I got infected. He was like physically like beating up the guy and touching him. So you're probably thinking, if he's infected, he's out there somewhere, and this isn't good.
Right. So let's get back round to the other thing that I'm talking about, which is this infection vector.
Mhm. So,
Right.
Chris, you...
Could he
Can I-
be the
can I get
source?
back to what my character knows, by the way, instead of other people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I was wanting to find out if I know much about this on how this disease is spread.
Okay, yes. It appears to be spread by close contact. If it is airborne, it doesn't have a very wide range, so it's more
Similar
like...
to COVID, then. Okay.
Yeah, similar to COVID in that respect, although I did
Hmm.
write this bit years before COVID-19, in case anybody's wondering. Because obviously this is taken from the original, the novel and the other RPG and whatnot. But, so yeah, it's spread by close contact. It is bodily fluids will spread it. You can catch it from breathing in the air other people breathe out, but it
Okay.
has a very short range. It's quite a heavy virus, so it doesn't travel far. It doesn't do well on metallic surfaces, as far as you can tell. Most metals seem to be very destructive to it. That's common with a lot of viruses. It does survive quite well on certain other surfaces, though. But yeah, there you go.
Do we?
Can't believe. Can I just say, I can't believe we wrote this before COVID
I know. Yeah,
because it's so prescient. It's kind of scaring me.
yeah.
I mean, bear in mind
Yeah,
that
it's a little bit weird.
the common cold turned deadly was my the thought experiment they wrote during my virology lectures.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah,
So, Chris, what was your next question?
I was wanting to know the epicenter, like if there's like a location, if I'm able to make some sort of map on the spread.
Okay,
in,
well,
you said Newcastle and the UK.
the people that have been brought here are only from a relatively short radius, a relatively small radius. So it's sort of Lower Northumberland, Upper Durham is the area that people are coming from here. You can see that the majority of people are from the city. There are very few cases from the more rural areas. So
You still have the bunker location map.
you still have the bunker location map, yeah. Most of the bunkers are outside of
I'm
the...
saying to you,
I have,
just
I.
like reference. That's all.
Yeah, I'll show you it if you need it. There it is. So that's me. That means I need to bring you... where's it gone now? There you go.
All right, yeah.
So there's the bunker location map. You can see that most of the bunkers are outside of the main cities. You've got areas on that map that have been a bit of a hotspot are Cramlington, Newcastle upon Tyne, Sunderland. But once you get out into Slaley, Corbridge, Hexham, Edmund, Byers, Stanhope, you're not seeing a great many there.
Rab is definitely a spreader then.
So let me just mark the hotspots for you. So I'll do a draw.
Campbell.
Colour. We'll use red. I think that seems appropriate.
So I just see Cheeseburn Grange. I didn't even know that place existed.
Yeah. Shit, I can't remember what the instructions it just gave me were. So circle. Oh, it just says circle. Right, okay. Let's see how this works. Okay, so... And it's turned it back to... so let me just change that to fucking red like I asked it to be in the first place. Oh, you've just drawn a separate one, right? Okay, just take the piss of mine, don't you?
That's not a circle. That's an oval.
It's close enough.
It's a rhombus. No, I'm kidding.
So a shit band that keeps playing pubs in it.
For heavy populated areas.
bitches.
What?
I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying it was bitchy, which I don't actually consider a negative thing. So there we are.
trapezoid. That's what I'd say.
There you go. So the red circles are the high infection areas, and anything outside of the red circle are the low infection areas. You'll
We're gonna
Oh,
have to
so cute.
stay very like to ourselves if we're moving around.
Sorry, say that again.
We're gonna have to stay very to ourselves if we're gonna move around.
Yeah.
Maybe not even stay in the city.
It'd be nice to get out of the hood.
You've got a blade in or Stanley.
Get out of the
Well,
hood.
your bunker's outside of the.
Yeah, but we don't exactly want to go in that right direction yet, like Sean said.
Oh, I see. Right. Well, bear in mind I wasn't here when you were formulating your plan.
Oh,
Very
the
well.
But
plan.
Brian,
the
you
plan.
should have known.
Apparently so.
So I think probably what Sean was saying, that we just go about our normal business, but you sort of increase precautions the way we were supposed to during COVID. You know, when you can only take your own precautions and hope other people take them.
Masking gloves on, etc.
Yeah, plenty of hand
Disinfect everything, wash
washing,
hands, yeah.
social distancing, that kind of thing. And that way, and then we carry on kind of normally after this, sort of maybe, because they will also monitor our telephone calls. So what we do is, you know, you can send each other the odd text saying how you holding up, but we can't really talk to one another. If we have prolonged phone calls or even any phone calls to one another, they're going to ask questions. So what we're just going to have to do is and they'll monitor our social media as well, so you just have to disperse.
Have our little conversation with each other before we split ways. Maybe like certain emojis mean certain things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Eggplant emoji. Splash emoji. Splash emoji.
For God's sake.
So you're telling me you people don't have multiple, secondary social media accounts
But let's not overuse them.
under
Obviously.
different names in real life?
Yeah.
Who even uses their name for their social media? God.
So,
yeah, you do that.
so Jenny, what was you told me that Mark had told you what Rab was going to be up to in the next couple of weeks? What? Sorry.
No good.
I
no good.
Infecting everyone.
So what's he been doing in
Yeah.
the 2 days you were isolated?
Piss going out
By
on
the way, he
floor.
has to come in. He was just a bit late.
Okay.
He said that he was going to head straight to the bunker
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, told ya.
and use the decontamination there. Because I think, didn't we install some kind of
You
decontamination
did.
thing?
Yes.
Right, yeah. He was going to use that. And then if he started to feel unwell or something like that, because he's aware that he was in contact with someone who wasn't well, like he's not completely stupid. He was going to take abundant amounts of Buckfast and cigarettes and food in his room and lock himself in there
Okay. Cool.
and wait
Basically
to hear
burn it
from
out.
us.
So
well.
you're going to. So he is going to attempt to decontaminate with the decontamination suite you got in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll assume that was day one. He'll have gone in and he'll attempted to use the decontamination suite. So I'm going to need two rolls here. One of whom is from Rab, and one of whom is from Sean. Sean, I'm going to need an engineering roll from you, please, to see if you managed to install all this correctly, because it's a little bit out of your usual comfort zone.
Is this a dexterity crafting or an intelligence tinkering?
I will allow you to pick
Wasn't this stuff already installed?
whichever one you like. No, you guys
Can
were
you do
installing it.
assist if needed?
No, I just remember doing all these install rolls like a week or two ago. Well, a few weeks
Oh, you did.
ago.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you did a lot of install runs on certain things. Yeah, but that was mostly the power and the lighting.
Oh, okay. He didn't get around to doing this.
Do the
No,
sanitation.
we
Or was he-
deliberately
yeah,
left
sorry.
this one so that it would be more tense. So that I said we're not
And I'm
going to
breaking
make
it- and
certain
I'm breaking it
rules
now.
until it's actually used to find out whether it went
So
in.
666 is what we're looking for here, guys. Watch it roll a
666 would be
111.
nice.
Being
Yeah,
dumb.
Yeah. It doesn't matter which roll I make. It's a focus +3
Okay,
basically.
yeah.
on either of these. So I'm going for intelligence tinkering because it's outside of the field of dexterity crafting. It's not a hardware install. It's not a build of physical machinery.
Yeah, it's not the sort of thing you're usually accustomed to, but you've watched a few YouTube videos and you think you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's
pretty handy.
it's that metal pipe. What's it called? It plumbing with the bending pipes with the and what have you. Okay, there you go. 13.
13. Okay, so and 4 stunt points. What would you like to use the stunt points for?
Ooh, what type of stunts are these? General combat stunts.
Aye,
kills the virus and does a double attack against it.
Be cheaper parts.
Yeah, possibly. I'm not really sure if there's any stunts that would be immediately relevant to that sort of thing, is there?
Maybe he swaps out like a part or two and goes, nah, this one will work better, and then it gets some kind of bonus.
Okay, yeah, I'll allow
No. Right, so...
Kitchen time exploration.
No. When a plan comes together...
Right.
You reveal this test. It was part of your plan all along, granting a bonus equal to SP spent on one ally's next test during the same encounter
nice one.
to accomplish the same goal. So this encounter is he's trying to disinfect himself or use that. He's going to have to make a roll to make sure that he does it correctly.
Yes.
I'm going to give him a +3 bonus.
Brilliant. Okay, so Rab, trying to remember what instructions he was given about the decontamination thing. He goes in with his bottle of Buckfast in one hand. He's distraught because he accidentally left a pack of cigarettes in his breast pocket, which are completely ruined by the decontamination sprays. Oh no, tabs! However, he's feeling really, really ill when he goes in. He's started bleeding from the nose a little bit, and his eyes are bloodshot. Occasionally, there's blood coming from his eyes. So he attempts to decontaminate himself. Give me a Constitution stamina test, please, and +3 for Thomas.
Right. You want me to roll it? I can't see his character sheet. I can see a few character sheets, but not his.
Okay, give me a second. I'll fix that for you. Characters. Rab, there we go. Character sheet.
Sorry,
that's not what I wanted to do, was it? So, edit. And where are you at? Really sure, Janet, there you go. So that's one. That's in your journal, and this one. There you go. And save that. There you go. That should have sorted it now.
Yep. What am I rolling again?
You are Constitution stamina, and you get +3 because of the stunts that Thomas just used. So that's 14.
Oh shit.
Okay, so he does himself a fairly decent decontamination job, and then takes all his food, his Buckfast, and what's left of his tabs into his room and locks himself in. So the first day he decontaminated himself. On the second day, give me another Constitution stamina test.
Okay.
He gets +2 this time. 15. Okay. On the second day, he's still feeling really rough, but he's no angrier than usual, so still pretty fucking angry all the time. Obviously.
Yeah.
And he's had no incidences of his eyes or his nose bleeding.
Okay.
Lucky him.
So you can make a note that Rab only needs to pass one more Constitution test to have survived the virus.
Okay.
Oh, do you only have to pass 2?
Well, you have to pass more than you fail. So currently, if he passes another one, or you have to pass 3 in a row. And that would be his 3rd in a row. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
Right. Well,
gonna say, because if it takes more passes and fails, this is gonna take me forever.
I'm
Or
guessing
pass
he
3
would
in a row. Either one will do.
he would probably try and call people with his mobile, I would imagine, but
Because he said that he's going to do that because he may actually decide to lay low because
yeah,
the
he
police involvement.
hasn't said, so yeah, I can't speak
Would-
for him.
I don't know. Would somebody attempt to send a text to him because we'd be all sort of a bit cautious on it?
Yeah, so at
Not
this
at the
point,
moment.
you guys have all been released. So, Chris, what are you doing? Are you
Go
staying?
to the. I'm gonna go to the lab.
You're going to your labs in.
I'm going to
Newcastle.
stay in contact. I'm hoping I can maybe get a communication device for Joe. I can say that I'm personally watching him or something, and I need to keep it in contact with him.
Okay, give
Yeah,
me
fair
a
enough.
give me a communication persuasion check. I'm going to say you're going to need to beat 13 on this one.
Oh,
Wait. I think one second. For powers.
Mhm.
You can do a little bit. No, never mind.
No? Okay. See, unfortunately for you, you've failed to convince them to keep them. They're saying, like, oh, there's not much point, he's too far gone at this point to communicate. It's something he would just try and turn into a weapon. Already his doctors are having to be
They're probably
very
right.
careful when they go in. Who
What
knows?
about a webcam?
oh, you're
Try
not watching me
again?
sleep.
Yeah, give it another check.
Would they not have video surveillance in the rooms, hidden cameras potentially?
They do.
Yeah.
They're just not necessarily telling Chris that. Okay, you've managed to convince them to give you the feed from the camera in his room, yes.
Okay. I'll also take a sample of Joe's blood before I go as well, and maybe a spinal tap.
Yeah, just take it on the way out. It's all over the floor.
Spinal tap.
Just to
Okay.
affect his brain, and I would like get a spinal tap or something.
Well, you
or-
order both of those done, and then they send you the results, so that
Okay.
you've got them on. So you've not actually got the samples yourself. The people who are more skilled at this have actually run the samples, done the tests, and sent you the results via the computer. So give me a. You can either give me a intelligence research test, or you can give me some kind of medical or scientific test if you prefer.
Wait, Brian.
Yes.
But you did see on the video these large guys in white uniforms go into the room and hold him down while they abused him.
Hit him with
Oh.
things.
Uh,
So Ben,
Does
could
Joe
you
know
give me-
that
Be right back a second.
So Ben, could you tell me what it was you were trying to say there, please?
I was gonna say, being my suspicious and bank robbery self, maybe I'd be on the lookout for some hidden cameras. You know, now that you mentioned that,
Yeah, possibly. Well,
can I, just see if I can find any? Looking around, maybe like I'm lying in my bed.
Yeah,
and I'm,
give
like,
me a
looking at the
perception
corners.
test. Yeah, give me a perception test.
Think I have observation, by the way, just because I'm getting shit roll. I do have observation. Wait.
I mean, the cameras are inside. They could be.
Yeah,
Okay.
you've spotted it.
Well, I might put this in. I didn't roll.
Does it-
That was Chris rolling or Jenny rolling.
Oh, right.
Oh, fuck me. I definitely spotted this.
That's the 3 6s that were required earlier, somebody mentioned.
I just woke up and then I had an epiphany in my dream. You're being watched.
Yeah.
The virus told me I'm being watched.
Okay, well, you woke up, you say, so that's the next day, isn't it? So give me another constitution test, please. Constitution stamina.
God's sake. Look, I see, I was on about the cop and twisting my words. It's you! You twisting my words, making me make constitution saving throws. Hey,
Yes.
fucking hell, I passed.
You did. Make a note that you've passed the constitution test. So,
Bloody hell,
also you
finally.
got +2 because you've been vaccinated and +1 because you're in hospital.
Passed one.
You're actually starting to feel a bit better. What are the rest of you doing on the 3rd day? That's the day after you were released. Where have you
And on
all
the
gone
3rd
and what are
day.
you doing?
Right. So I'm actually going to go and buy a throwaway cell phone.
Right. Okay. What's your resources?
It'd be a 2,
Your resources are 2.
I think. Or no, it's 4. It's 4 actually.
4, no problem then.
Right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that phone,
Mhm.
put Rab's number into it, and send him a text message saying, "This is Thomas." Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I'm not going to say this is Thomas. I'm going to say, "Where you at? What you doing?"
Right. Okay, so Rab gets a message just where you're at, what you're doing. No idea who it's come from.
Yeah. From an unknown number.
From an unknown number. So, Chris, what are you doing?
I'm gonna see.
I presume he can get a signal in his room.
Yes, you can. Aye.
We'll probably put Wi-Fi in.
Yeah. Go on, Chris.
I'm gonna test the. Sorry, no, I'm gonna look at the information that I got from the tests.
Okay, so the information you got from the tests is that, it hasn't really helped you a great deal. It does seem to be something that's attacking the central nervous system, though. Give me a. Let me just see now. You're operating out of a full lab with help, so I will take a.
I would have what's the face again? Where's my entourage? Where's my scientists?
Well, I'd love to know that myself.
Have you lost them as well?
The research assistants.
Yeah, I don't see them.
I think
Sample analysis, there they are. So we've got Adele Harper, biology level 3, and Dr. Professor Lindsay.
I have James Callaghan.
Callahan.
In Callahan.
That's chemistry. It's not the same. Yeah. It's different.
Chemistry and biology. He's also got research.
Yeah. So give me a intelligence biology test, please. This is very difficult because they're trying to come up with a better solution to fighting this ailment. So, current problem is that you were vaccinated at a touch late. You already had it. So although it's helping you fight it a bit, it's not been great. So it's a formidable test that this guy's trying to make.
Well, I think Chris has found something else.
Shit, yeah. 20. Okay. You found a weak point in the virus. Something that makes you think, I think I know how to kill this. You're not 100% sure, but you think if you could run a few tests, or better yet, there's quite a lot of work would need to go into it, but you have a strong suspicion you've found a weak point in the virus. Your choices are try and run all the science yourself, or send the information out and try to see how many others assist.
Back now, by the way.
Hello.
Hi.
Did I miss anything?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send it out across the whole council of sciences.
Stick it on Reddit.
He's
No.
going
Send it
to
to the World
create a
Health
computer
Organization
virus
would be the most likely.
about the virus.
Yeah. Okay, so you send the information off to the World Health Organization, who immediately distribute it worldwide in an attempt to create some kind of fight back against this virus.
Right, I've just got my name out to the world. Okay.
You just got your name out to the world, yes. You have. That should go quite well for you. You are now fairly famous because you've discovered the cure for the virus.
Yeah.
It takes a little while for everybody to test it, and then it takes a lot longer for people to put it into mass manufacturing. But right now, within a week at least, they'll be able to create some
pathogen.
So is this
some tests.
Mr. Nobel Prize now?
Yes. Easy.
So
Mr. Nobel Prize.
he's discovered the cure.
Yeah, I get £1 million.
On a different note,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
I've just thought if I spotted the camera,
Yeah.
I would probably try and break it because I don't want people watching me
Okay, how are you going to
Sweet.
try and break it? I'll take you back over to the.
Well, what kind of camera? Well, how is it? Where's it positioned? And does it look like? Sturdy, or
Well, it's not.
has it just kind of been hidden?
I mean, if it
or
looked
whatever?
sturdy, it would be something you could actually see well enough that you wouldn't have needed a roll to find it. It's a hidden camera, so.
Hi,
it's a s-
Mark.
So
by the
it
way.
looks delicate. Oh well, then.
It's a small
If it
hidden
looks-
camera inside one of
It's
the
the stuffed toy.
vents.
It's the stuffed toy on the bed, on the desk beside you. It's one of them nanny cams.
It's inside a vent. How big's the vent?
Well, big enough to put a camera in. Do you know how small they are?
No,
Yeah,
that's why I'm
it-
asking.
You can't crawl down them like in
I'm
Die
not trying
Hard.
to do that. I wasn't trying. I wasn't thinking of that. I just want to see how big the vent is.
Not very. But I mean,
Well, is there anything in the room I could use to maybe try and hit the camera?
you can see the
Or
room.
poke it. Okay, but like, is there any?
Be like
if
a
it's in
6 by
vent,
8
I'm
inch
like-
vent.
Yeah.
Okay, but is there any small objects I could use?
Looking
Potentially.
around for small objects you could use to kind of damage the vent. You reckon if you were to tear it off this lamp that's attached to the bed, but it would take some effort tearing that off.
Or I can just actually cover it up. So if there's any fabric, I'll just cover the vent up.
Well, give me a willpower test because you're quite angry about having seen this. They're watching
He
me, how
didn't even
dare
know
they?
here. Mark's
Oh.
on at the minute, by the way.
But
Yeah.
then again,
Hi,
then
Mark.
Hi, Mark. I'll be with you in a second. I'm just dealing with Mr. 70 questions.
Would he actually be raging? Would he not be going, "Oh, they're looking at me. I must be wonderful. I must be important."
Well, it is.
Well, I'm not
it is-
happy at being spied on.
It is
No,
a
I'm not happy
constant
being
war
spied on.
between your usual kind of personality and the burn
Vanity
and
and anger.
rage that the illness is causing. Okay, Mark. So I'm gonna bring you in at this point. So, Rab, I'm just gonna check you are actually listening before I start.
Can I do a quick question before I forget?
Yeah, go on.
I hit my drive, visionary. Do I get a conviction point?
Yes, you do. You absolutely do. Add one conviction point. Well spotted. Okay, so Mark, you listening?
Yep.
Excellent. So this is what's happened to Rab so far, okay? He got away, he ran back to the bunker and he attempted to decontaminate himself. The instructions that he'd been given were pretty good ones. So by the time you got back to the bunker, you were very ill, you were bleeding from the eyes and the nose, but you decontaminated yourself.
At least I wasn't bleeding out of the arse.
Sorry?
At least I wasn't bleeding out of the arse.
Yeah. You decontaminated yourself. You accidentally decontaminated a pack of cigarettes you still had in your breast pocket,
Yay!
which you were gutted about because it destroyed them completely and you couldn't smoke them. And at least half of them had cannabis in. So you weren't entirely happy, but you took to your bed because you were still feeling really, really ill. The next day, you were still feeling ill, but not quite as bad, and you'd stopped bleeding from the nose and the eyes. You appear to be starting to recover. You're going to need one more past test before you actually do recover. So there's still a risk of a relapse yet, but that's where we're at with you.
Always a risk of a relapse with Rab.
So you mean that he didn't attempt to cure himself just by drinking as much buckfast and smoking as much weed as humanly possible?
No, he has done that as well.
Or as rabbly as possible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that as well if you like. But currently none of the others have returned to the bunker, but you have had a message from an unknown number that's just asking like where you're at, what you're doing.
Well, I've just had the message.
Yes.
And it's an unknown number.
Yes.
Got to reply with having a wank. What about you?
Fuck's sake.
Okay, Sean, over to you. That's the message you get back.
And I'll put in as long as you're somewhere safe. There's we may be under surveillance.
I'll reply with right. So I'm making one of they kind of videos. Who is this, by the way?
Oh my god.
Yep.
And I'll just send back what's it? The letter T, capital T.
I'll reply back with, and it will of course be typed this way. All right, mate. How come you didn't say that to start off with? Like, where are you and what's going on, mate? I'm back here at the bunker trying to get myself sorted.
Okay. But actually, what I'll do then is I'll actually make a phone call then.
Right. Okay.
And I'll speak to Rab and say Joe's been hospitalized. He's badly infected with whatever disease that guy had that you had to fight with. The police have interviewed us all.
Joe got shot about 20 times.
And Joe actually was shot 3 times by armed guards.
Only 3
Yeah.
with real bullets.
Yeah. he tried to take on 2 squaddies
Jeezy, crazy.
with his bare hands.
Yeah. You should
I
probably
just
tell
saw
him it was
muscle.
like.
That's pure mental. That's pure wide that they shot him like that. And you know, man, I mean, he's just a dude on the street, and they're 2 soldiers with like loads of guns and all of that, man, and bullets and everything, and they just pure shot him. That's bang out
No.
there.
He was raging crazy, bleeding out of his eyes and what have you, and nose. It's like something out of one of them zombie movies, you know?
Crazy raging, you said.
Yeah.
Bleeding out of his eyes and his nose.
Aye.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god, the slow dawning realization.
See, when you come back to the bunker, you might want to like announce your presence and enter carefully and all that, eh? Because I mean, I've been bleeding a little bit too. It's not as bad now as it was yesterday, right? But just saying, I might be pure psycho Raj.
Right. More so than normal, yeah?
Aye, man.
Is this I'm going to have to get
Is it like-
translation off Lizzie? What does feel psycho Raj mean?
But tell you what today, on your way back, see if you grab like something like a bag of Twixies and just chuck a couple in before you come in, you should be sorted.
Aye. Okay. Right. We'll talk to you later. We'll see you later.
Shouldn't it be
Aye,
Mars
man,
bars?
catch you later. I'm away to roll another one.
Shouldn't it be Mars bars? You know you when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Snickers.
Oh,
You're not
Snickers,
yourself.
yeah.
Okay, so what are Erin and Lizzie doing on the first day after they've been released and Joe hasn't?
Oh, woman.
Did you say who and Lizzie?
You, Erin and Lizzie.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't hear you very because you went a bit quiet.
Mhm.
Well, I guess I might be going back to work, I suppose.
Okay.
If I'm
Mhm.
got the all clear and everything.
Yeah, you've got the all clear. So you just head back to work and try and get on with your life normally as best as possible, whilst Joe is dying a horrible death in the.
Hey, I already helped
feel
save him,
targeted.
right?
I feel targeted.
That's the paranoia speaking.
Marie, what are
obviously,
you?
from the
What's your
disease.
character up to?
I'll do what Thomas suggested and go back to life as normal. Go back to training at the gym and doing my, chase tag and my parkour and
Okay. You all go back
learning
to.
to trying to learn how to use staves so I can fight.
Yeah. You all go back to life as close to possibly normal as you can get, but you notice that things are deteriorating. The number of cases of various illnesses are increasing. They keep saying that there's a cure has been discovered, but they're trying to roll it out and there's some difficulty in doing so. It's going to take some time. They've suspended certain mechanisms they might normally use because it's an emergency. They're trying to get these things out as quickly as possible. It's still going to take a couple of weeks. There are estimated to be 100,000 people in the UK alone that are unlikely to live long enough for the cure to come out. There are occasional outbreaks of massive violence in the cities. Riots are becoming more and more common. Sometimes it's food riots, sometimes it's related to this brain illness. Things are getting pretty bad. Let's find out if the two people who are currently ill are going to make it or not.
Or will they?
Yeah.
I reckon Rob.
Okay,
He's a
so
cockroach.
let's start with Rab. Give me a Constitution stamina test, please. And 15. So
Nice.
by the end of the week, Rab's recovering. It's quite
Hey.
obvious that whatever it was that he'd caught, he has come through it. The decontamination seems to have helped massively.
No, what actually happened is that instead of the virus infecting and killing Rab, it was the other way about. Rab is the cure.
The virus was like, hey man, let's just chill.
Oh no, I've got that zombie virus. Aye, but the poor bugger's got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see how Joe is getting on. Would you like to give me a Constitution stamina test as well, please?
Indeed. That's. Oh, sorry.
15, that's your second pass.
Nice.
Yay.
If you pass another one, you'll be okay. So you're starting to recover. You're still feeling a lot better. There's been no incidences of you bleeding from the eyes. The doctors are quite pleased with how things are going. You've got
But of course, they wouldn't know that because I'm just trying to say that the spy cam's sealed up. That's yeah.
I mean, if you've sealed the
fine.
spy cam, they're going to notice that and just unseal it. That's
Well, then I'll.
Fine, we've got the information we need right now.
Yeah.
So
It's not much of a spy cam though now, is it, guys?
it wasn't meant to be.
yeah.
Yeah, but you haven't found the other one.
Hidden.
hmm
It was hidden. It was obviously a spy cam.
That was the dummy. That was the dummy one.
You think the camera
I
was the
rolled
dummy in this
666.
relationship?
I rolled a 666. If I didn't see the real one, then I'm not gonna.
No,
find
you
it.
definitely found the real camera. Aye. But the next day after you wake up, the camera's just operational again. In your various
What?
cocktail of drugs, they just gave you something to knock you out long enough to fix the problem. Anyway,
If he got better, would his intelligence have changed or not?
he is starting to recover, so his intelligence is not deteriorating yet any further. So the next day, you see there's an incident in one of the rooms next to you. You can see one of the other patients as they're banging their head violently on the wall.
Are they banging it on my side, like towards me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm tapping on the glass like they're a goldfish.
Right, so it's this person here is banging on the.
Tapping like, ooh, you're mad. Ooh.
You start tapping on the.
Can't get me. Ooh, almost, not quite.
Can't tell if
Don't
this is an
tag it out.
illness or if this is just him being him.
I know.
Okay, so the medics are moving in and they come in and grab this person as best they can. As the person turns around, you can see they completely rage and swing for one of the medics. As the medic steps back, this person just topples over forwards, and in a massive gout of vomited blood, just all over the floor, and collapses. The medics have pretty much, it's almost like an explosion.
It's like the ripping and the tearing of an Ebola victim.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. And you see the medics are desperately trying to save this person. By the end of the day, however, you no longer have a neighbour in that side of the...
Oh, well, at least it's not going to be as noisy at night times.
Okay, give me another Constitution stamina test.
Let RNGesus guide my rolls.
13.
With the
okay.
+2, with the +2 and the +1 from the hospital.
By the end of the week, you're actually no longer infected. So you're getting steadily better and better. You're starting to recover from the illness. And by the end of the week, you actually get the all clear. One of the medics comes in and tells you, we're very pleased to tell you that you are all clear. We're going to be able to release you later today.
You know how much I'm going to go on and like gloat about being shot 3 times while being infected by a deadly virus.
I'm now toying with the idea of whether I should instigate the storyline I was going to instigate, because everybody else is fucking miles away.
Go for it.
Sorry?
Honestly, man, Brian, go for it.
Oh well, here's if it's what I think it is, Brian. Then it's a case of the medics say, "Oh, Joe can be released." We'll come round to see him out at the hospital.
Brilliant. Yes, we'll go with that. Okay, so you
want
get
that a plot device?
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's where we're going, isn't it?
That is where we're going. Yes.
What about Rab though? Have we found out
Rab's
he's
now
okay?
cured.
Yeah, but he can't really. He's still hiding from the police. But anyway, you get the contact to tell. Well, Chris, you get a contact to tell you that your patient, Joe.
Patient 0.
Yeah, Joe Watson. Joe Watson is being released tomorrow. That he's now completely cured. That he's managed to be one of the 33% of survivors. They're going to keep him in overnight tonight and just release him tomorrow. What are you going to do?
Celebrate.
Have a wake.
I think.
Tell the others is sort of what I was hoping for.
Yeah. If you tell me, I'm going to say I think we should check on Rab as well.
I'll let the others know. Would he still have the burner phone or not?
Oh, I've still got that.
Also,
I haven't got rid of that.
Could I get a perception seeing test from everybody, please?
It's me as well.
Not you. Everybody else.
Not me.
It very much looks like you're not actually under quite as much observation as you thought. However, you have noticed that photo fit pictures of, well, actually not photo fit pictures because they've got a video of them. So pictures of Rab have been appearing on the news. Have you seen this man? Do not approach. Believed to be dangerous. If you see this man, contact Northumbria police immediately. And they're running it every hour on the television.
Oh no!
Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot on this burner phone that I have.
Yeah.
I'm going to send it to Rab and say, "Stay where you are."
Rab's famous. He'll be happy.
Yeah. So Rab, you get this photo. You get a photograph on your phone that somebody's taken a photograph of their television set, and it's actually your face with like "wanted." Do not approach this man, dangerous. Contact Northumbrian police immediately if you believe you've seen this man, and then a telephone number.
But would people not know who he was from the TV show, though?
Yeah, but nobody knows where he is the point.
Yeah, that's it.
But I suppose they're going to name him, really, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, the name.
Rab.
Are you on mute or are you not listening or what? Hello, Mark.
Well, you can tell them about that later on then, because right now, what's happening up here is, Joe, you've just been given the good news. You've had your clothes handed back to you. You're told that tomorrow you're going to be released. You're quite looking forward to it. Tomorrow rolls round. Your friends have come to pick you up to rejoin their.
No, you missed a bit.
Go on then.
You missed a bit where I checked my phone Like, oh, it's been about a week, you know. Phone must be blown up, and I've got like one missed call or like one text from my mum, just like rent's due.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so yes, as shit, I forgot what I was going to do now. Yeah. Okay, so the next day, as you're being led out, you are told that actually you are in your clothes there, but you've been put in a hazmat suit of your own. You're told that because you're in a level 4 facility, where as you leave, you'll also go through the decontamination bath, which is like you just wade through it. You know,
Sheep dip.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you went swimming, you used to go through like a chlorine dip.
The foot bath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never went through that. I just jumped in the pool.
It's kind of similar to that, but it's much more. Anyway, as you've been led out towards that in your hazmat suit, you're just coming past this.
I know what's going to happen.
You're just coming past this room here when suddenly all fucking hell breaks loose. As you whip your head round to see what's going on, you can see that this medic has been attacked. The rager that's inside has managed to take the arm of the light off and has just rammed the sharp broken end into the medic, who's collapsing. As it collapses to the ground, you can see like blood gouting out. And this guy's like, oh shit, and hits an alarm. Everything, the world just turns into this kind of screaming.
There's red flashing light.
There's red flashing lights everywhere. There's utter chaos
the medic
breaks
dead?
out. The medic is
Metal roller blinds are coming down over all the doors and windows.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, outside you can hear all the alarms going off from inside the building. So that's the one I want, and I need to grab that.
You know what's happening next.
Containment breach.
There you go. So there's the medic, and this
Is
guy's
he,
now
is he, like actually dead?
Oh, he's dead, yeah. As this guy goes, right, okay, quickly, let's just get you out of here. I'm going to have to go. We need some help
is there,
in
like,
here.
A push button?
Give me a...
Wait.
What?
Wait, at the door, is there like a button you can just press and the door closes?
No, it's a key card. So he swipes his key card, and as it goes and opens, give me a perception test, perception seeing test, please.
How did
If I
the
fail
door
this,
go?
I get a roll again. If that's a fail, I do have another chance because I've got observation.
No, you've passed. So you just look round, sort of panicky, looking back, cannot believe what you've just seen. And what you see now chills you even more than the murder you've just seen. The rager reaches down, grabs the security key card off the medic,
Oh no.
and slides it down the lock on his door, which pops the door open.
Uh-oh.
He comes charging out towards you both. Ah! And we'll find out what
I know
happens
what's gonna.
next week.
Oh, no.
Ben, I'm going to make a suggestion. You're right next to some computer chairs. Spray the fucker with a chair.
I wasn't gonna let him get out because I feel like he might unlock the other doors and let the others out. So.
Well, you've got till next week to try and figure out what your plan is going to be to deal with that. Your friends are outside at the moment and can probably come to you. Well, we'll find out. You guys can also decide what you're going to be doing.
Friends, that's a bit of a strong word.
Looks like there's an
Came to
AED.
see me get released.
So,
Looks like there's an AED here as well.
yeah. So thank you very much for coming to the game this evening. Hope you enjoyed it. We will
Yep.
pick up from there next week. Thank you at home for tuning in and listening to this one as stage 2 of Pandora's Wake unwraps. Next week we'll pick up from where the infected are just about to start breaking out of this level 4 facility unless Joe can stop them. I've got a bad feeling about this. Do stay safe, take care, we'll see you all next week. But from us, for now, good night.
Remember,
Night.
stay
Night.
inside, Don't touch the walls.
Oh, actually, we do have one other thing. I believe, Jenny, you have something to tell everybody about.
Oh yes, don't forget to follow our Twitter at Gethsemane Games, and also check out Brian's Patreon,
Way.
Brian F. Irving,
Where you
for
can,
some really cool stuff.
yep, you can get some really cool stuff, including maps not entirely dissimilar to the part of the hospital you're looking at now. We're currently going through the Archmage's Tower. That's been released every few days. We're adding another level to this gigantic tower. If you happen to watch our Tower of Saragossa live stream, you'll know the tower we're talking about. So that's going out free to patrons at the moment. You can become a patron for as little as £3 a month. Thank you very much. Do stay safe. Take care. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Nice.
Bye for now.
Right.
Right.
Catchy.